especially where we come from, we don't really acknowledge our singers as much as we should. We should understand without singers, we'd have nothing. Think about that. We'd have no way to cross that place over there and connect with our relatives, because that's our reality. We've maintained that connection with our spiritual world through ceremony, through everyday wachekia, the acknowledgement of our relatives and based on their needs. All that ideology that goes behind that philosophy of who and what we are, we continue that. But people don't understand that because they don't understand our language and what it is that that way we utilize our voice in a very spiritual way to connect with our relatives on the other side, to let them know we are here and we're still alive and well. And we have days like today where their presence will be known, but to many, they can't see them. But to many of our spiritual leaders that are here, they'll recognize them and they'll feel that comfort. And so you'll see some of these individuals, especially our women, our ladies, will acknowledge that. Oh, and the beauty in that. That's what I mean about when we gather like this and we're in a common mindset, we understand that connection. We understand the importance of that. And through our singers, you know, a lot of us see the singers, guy's drunk all the time, but when he's sitting at the drum, they're not that way. We criticize our own. We need to stop criticizing that and acknowledging the good things, sticking with the positive as we come to understand it as Dakota and Lakota people, and realizing this is who we are. This is what we are. So when they recognize us and they look at us, they can understand why we are. We're a people of dignity and honor, and especially a people of integrity. We walk with the truth. And in that, that's kind of exemplified in a lot of the songs that you'll hear, and that's the importance of that language. So after the minister speaks, we're going to have my Zitkana Zihok Sheila come up here and utilizing the Dakota language in a good way and acknowledging our grandfathers and our grandmothers. He's going to share with them exactly in Dakota what this day is all about. Is that Cho or what? Okay, that's it too. Oh, Estelo. Yeah, you bet. How? And so as we realize that, we understand a lot of people, well, hurry up and do this and do that. We don't hurry. Time is not of the essence when we walk this earth. Indian time is not always being late. Actually, Indian time means you're there early, you're there on time, and it happens when it's supposed to. So we got to get some of that negativity out of our way of life. So we're just about ready to go. We got Chief Bear, Chief Redmond going to lead us in, and we can't say enough about the Wapahaska Oyateki and really maintaining and looking after us in such a good way. It's just a wonderful experience here on the Whitecap Reserve. And if you understand the origins of the Whitecap, they really come from Fort Kip and the Minnesota Uprising and all that good stuff. And they got up here and they cut their names in half, and because they're running from an oppressive government. But a lot of the people here are related to us on Fort Peck, because that's where they came from. My Chie, Wayne, Standing Buffalo, he came from there as well. Medicine Bear and Standing Buffalo and Whitecap, they were all chiefs and they evolved up here. That's how we got up here. In their own territory, I might add. This is their hunting ground. So anyway, we're waiting for a high sign for our grand entry, and it's going to be a beautiful one. And as soon as we get started, we'll get going. You know, one of the things, I announced a lot of powwows, and I catch heck for not removing my hat during the flag song. And the only time I remove my hat is when there's a prayer, because I'm a Nagichita. I provided service in the military, so kind of like that. So a lot of you that think that I'm being disrespectful, that I'm respecting my status as a warrior, when I leave my hat on. And there's a feather in it, you see? So if I go home any with a woman, I leave my hat on, I could leave it on because I got a feather in it. Yeah. This little something, something. But we're going to have a wonderful time here, and we really appreciate the minister being here. Where's Murray at? How do you say that minister's name? Anybody? How? Ananda Sangri. That's what I said. Listen. Oh. Yeah. And we got a lot of dignitaries here, and really appreciate this leadership, the Itanchiapi, the ones that really work 365 days a year to really try to raise the quality of our life as leaders, eh? And they do that all the time. And so when we get stuck and we spend too much money in the casino, we can recognize who to call for that $20. They're really good at that too. I pity the chiefs. Oh man, can you imagine a pocket full of 20s? Just okay, here. But it's all good. They have good things in mind, and they make decisions for us to raise our quality of life. And today happens to be one of those days where our leadership has affected us so positively from now on. Hey, that's how important this particular day is. A lot of people worked on it. I was really sad to hear that Orville couldn't make it. That's my Tahanshi, that's my relative, and he wanted to make it, but his schedule conflicted. Everybody gives heck to Orville too, but he's a very busy man. He's a very peaceful man, eh? But we wanted him to be here, but he couldn't make it because of a scheduling conflict. But I think Harold Salloway is here. Harold's another historian. Harold, are you here? Tokialawo. He's in here. He's probably out there with those chiefs hanging around borrowing money. Yeah. I know how those Indians are, you savages. You know, as I look around, I look out in the crowd, and you Indians all do kind of look alike. Next. Great, racist guy up here. You know, that's amazing too, because Indians can't be, First Nations people can't be racist. There's no avenue for us to do that under this Changleshka Wakha. Totally inclusive in that, because the two-legged, Huhu Nupa, they're all the same human beings. The Wamakashka, the animals, all included in the Wachaga, the things that grow. I always call the insects Dagushkashka, moving around all the time, Then stuff like that. But they're all included in that, so there's no avenue for us to be racist, although we tease and say stuff about Chinese and black people. Your Indian name? Stuff like that. But in our hearts, there's no way during ceremony do we ever pray against anything or anybody. It's always a pursuit of Dakota-Lakota makasi tomini. So it's kind of like that. But again, as we stand here and wait for this hierarchy to get in here, worse than the mailman on the first. Everybody's waiting for him. Yeah. Okay, looks like Sheldon said we're ready to go. Mitakiapi ushimalo, ekchewi chashamelo, ambe tukile na haeapa heni tawa. Duake oyakib inajipo. If you're able to rise, we're going to ask you in a good way to rise. We have our Itanchiapi, they're coming into the center, Chukatekta Uelo. And in that, they're carrying these eagle staffs, these crooked sticks with the feathers on them. At one time, they were spears, but in the pursuit of Dakota Makasi Tomini, they bent that spear over and they hung these feathers on there, representing this courageous and brave acts of our veterans, the men and the women that put themselves in harm's way, in which they fought for this freedom that sometimes we take for granted, but today we definitely appreciate it. We're going to ask in a good way to keep them in mind, especially those that give the ultimate sacrifice, their life, so that we can gather like this and acknowledge this relationship that we have with our non-Indian people. So at this time, we're going to go to the six-shooter singers and ask them to sing the Grand Entry Song. Hukahe mitakuepi, hochapi, eapo. Hey, turn me on. Turn me up. Hamitakuepi, please remain standing again at this time as we come together in a good way. We always humble ourselves to the Creator. And again, as we do these things, Daguwankashkashka, the one that makes all these things move in a good way, we humble ourselves as First Nations people to kind of pursue our purpose and our dedication as we spend time here on Mother Earth. And Crazy Horse said, nothing lives forever, but the Mother Earth does live forever. So we're going to ask Senator Vivian Anderson to please come up here if you would, ma'am, and share with us on behalf of all of us here in a good way some kind words, if you will. Is she going to come up the stairs, or do we have a mic down there? And again, you might want to turn this mic up just a little bit, if you would, there, sound people. And again, ladies and gentlemen, honor and a privilege to introduce to you at this time Senator Elder Vivian Anderson. Come on over this way. Okay. And again, she's going to stand right there and share with prayer with us. And again, please turn off your cameras and your recording devices at this time. Thank you for that very beautiful prayer. Please remain standing as we go over to the six-shooter singers again. We're going to acknowledge again and have memories, good memories about our Gichita Oyateki, Wiapilena, Wichacha Bile, Zuya Ekta, the ones that went to war. We're going to ask them for a flag song, if you would. Six-shooters, flag song, please. All right, thank you very much, six shooters. Now, if you'll please remain standing, from my understanding is we're not going to sing a victory song till the very end, but there's an honor song they'd like to share with all of us. And again, we're going to go back to the six shooter singers and ask them to sing that honor song. And then after everything's concluded, we're going to sing the victory song. So please bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard to be an Indian, but I love my Indian ways. Be patient. Okay, take it away, six shooter. Honor song, please. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, Iotaka. All right, thank you very much for having the patience to bear with us as we do these things. We'd like to thank the singers for that very beautiful grand entry song and the flag song and, of course, that honor song. So please bear with us, flag bearers. We're just about ready. Murray, get up here and help me out to introduce these individuals here. And again, ladies and gentlemen, the ideology that I speak about is when we have grand entry, it isn't to show them off. It's to afford us an opportunity to recognize individuals that have developed the character in their own life to be able to provide a service to us in a good way as our leadership. And so as we bring them in like this, we would like for you to recognize them. And so that when you're in need and you're in times of assistance, they will definitely help you. So as we call your name out, bring your flags up here to the stage and we'll post them accordingly. Okay, so first of all, we'd like to introduce to you the individual that is the host chief for all of us here today, and his people have gotten together and have become gracious hosts to each and every one of us. He has, of course, Dwayne and Frank assisting him, his legislative body. They took action yesterday, and they said I could have be the Ayapaha today. They did that on resolution. No, I'm teasing. Next, they're all listening to me too. But on behalf of Chief Bear, Darcy Bear, and all of his people, let's give a big round of applause to Chief Darcy Bear. Come on over this way, Tahashi. Okay, it's always good to see him. And you'll post your flag up here, I believe, Chief. They got a place for it up here. And then stay up here, Chief, because you're going to be doing some introductions in a little bit as well. Hey, you like that? I could tell a chief what to do, eh? Oh, man, I'm getting good at it. Okay, and then we also have the chief of the Standing Buffalo that brought in the other Eagle staff here. And again, this is an individual that has worked hard and hard, put many hours in, went to the United Nations and spoke on behalf of the Dakota-Lakota. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Chief Roger Redmond, Standing Buffalo. And again, we also have Chief from Dakota Teepee. I kicked his butt in golf yesterday. Chief Dennis Pache. Come on over, Chief, if you would. Yeah, had a good time, a wonderful time. And again, thank you, Chief Pache, for coming here and sharing with us on this day. Come on up. And of course, we have my Tahashi here as well, Chief Ellen LeCain, and Karen is her nephew, Eric LeCain. Yeah, come on up and post your colors there, Eric, if you would. My own blood relative, but he doesn't look like me though, eh? He looks kind of white. Yeah, no, Andy. And of course, this next flag is representing the Sioux Valley. Yeah, the Sioux Valley, and bringing in the flag for the Eagle staff for Chief Vince Tanchin is Toshka Keith Tanchin. Toshka, post your colors if you would. Okay, for Chinupa Wakpa, bringing in the Eagle staff is Toshka Reese Brown on behalf of Chief Raymond Tanchin. There he is right there. Oh, Brown. I told you, all you Indians look alike. Chief Raymond Brown. I'm sorry. I was trying not to call him by his nickname, but I introduced him like that one time. Chief got mad at me. And we'd like to introduce you, Harold Left-Hand. Come on over, bring your flag if you would, sir. Thank you very much, representing the Pine Ridge Reservation. Lakota oyate ki wana hi hechetu wopila chicha pelo. Okay, we also have with us here today Chief Donnie Smoke. Come on over, Chief. I don't think you have a flag, but and also Chief Wadidaka. So come on over this way, just so we could acknowledge your presence here. Good job, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, you can go have a seat down there. Good job, Chief. Good to see you again. Diana. And of course, we have with us former chiefs from Wakpeto, Gary Standing. Come on over, go and sit down, Gary. You can have it. Yeah, just go over there and sit down. Yeah. Also, Lauren Wadidika. And of course, none other than my buddy, Dr. Leo Omani. Yeah, had a good discussion with him last night. Good to see you. And of course, we have none other than Chie, Senator Wayne Goodwill. He's right over there somewhere. Seen him earlier. Oh, he's over here. And he's also carrying the King George Medal. Thank you, Chie. We also like to acknowledge Tribal Chief Mark Arkan. Mark? Saskatoon Tribal Council. Good to see you, Mark. Also, we'd like to acknowledge Chief Brian Hardlot. There you go. And also, we'd like to introduce one of the locals here, Vice Chief Ali Bear. Toja, right there. We also like to acknowledge Councillor Scott Bird and Councillor Maureen Walker. I think we got all the leadership, hopefully. If we missed any of you, we apologize, but if we did, holler at us right now. Hurry up. Hey. And bringing in our white cap flag is none other than Councillor Frank Royal. Boy, this guy's really a good host. Took care of us yesterday. Dagayachi. Okay, we'd also like to introduce Chief Lindsay Bunn. Lindsay, are you here? Thank you, Chief Brown, for bringing that attention. There he is. Come on over this way. Let us see you. We want to look at you. I'm just bragging about our character development.
Tony's got a seat right up front.
And you got a seat right up front here, Chief. You got a seat right there. Good to see you. One of the younger chiefs here, and good job. And of course, Chie Oswald McKay bringing in the 7th Cavalry flag. And again, that represents a victory. So when we have victory songs, this is what that is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you, Ozzy. Yeah, we did him already. And bringing in the Manitoba Veterans flag, Veteran Goodwill. Come on over this way, sir. Lloyd. This guy thinks he could golf, but I always beat him all the time. Little bony guy like me. He said, "How do you hit that ball so far?" I said, "Deer meat." And of course, again, one of our locals here, been really good golf with him yesterday, bringing in the flag, Dwayne Eagle. Come on over there, Tahashi. Good job, United States flag. And also bring another flag, Junior Brown, Chanupa Wakpa. Come on over, Junior. Travis Ogle, Wood Mountain. Come on over and post your flag. Another cousin. Brendan Wajunta, Standing Buffalo. Come on over there, Brendan. Miles Miller, Dakota Teepee. Come on over, Miles. Dwayne Redmond Jr. bringing in the Canada flag. Good job, Dwayne. Good to see you. And of course, Councilman Coulter Goodwill, Toshka, bringing in the British flag right there.
We got more British flags. Another British flag.
Bringing in another British flag, Senator David Arnott. Good job there, sir. And of course, bringing in our Canadian flag, the man we're here, special guest, main guy. Just, oh man, can't say enough about this guy. It's Minister Gary Anana Sangari. Did I get it right, sir? All right. He's that guy.
What's your last name there, Mr. Tatchin? Keith?
No.
Zane.
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 And bringing in our flag here from Manitoba is Zane Tanchin, right there, Sioux Valley. Good to see you, Toshka. Good job, guy.
Did you get every flag? Yeah, all the flags. No, we got a few more here. Law enforcement. Law enforcement.
All right, we'd like to acknowledge the law enforcement, if you would, please. Kirk Ingram. RCMP. Byron Royal, Community Safety Officer with Wahpeto. With Whitecap. Sorry? Don,
Bronwyn.
Minister Bronwyn. There he is right there. I'm sorry, ma'am. And Councillor Minnie Ryder is there also. Good morning, Hiano Ashte Minnie.
Last but not least, Senators Brent Carter and Marty Klein.
Last but not least, Senator Brent Carter and Bonnie Klein. Wave your hand like this. Yeah. There you go. Let's give our whole grand entry one more great big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Good guy. Okay. And of course, it would not be a legitimate grand entry if we did not have these individuals. I'm speaking about the dancers. First of all, we have Shayna Uzichipi, Senior Princess for the Standing Buffalo. Wave your little princess-like hand like that, yeah. We also have with Dorothy Uzichipi, Standing Buffalo. We have with us Chie Kim Joya. We also have with us Diana Redmond, Badger. We have with us Beverly Uzichipi, Ashley Bonays. We have Sharon Uzichipi, Nash Eagle, and Humble Morin. We have with us Cage Bear and Kova Bear. Did I get everybody? All right, good job. Let's give our dancers a big round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Okay, Chiefs, we're going to ask you, you got designated seats up here. We'd like you to have you all in front, so come on in and have a seat if you would. Oh, man, we're moving right along here. Okay. And at this time, again, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very beautiful experience coming here on this memorable day. And it couldn't have been done without the leadership of this individual that has taken initiative, has really been innovative in the manner in which he addresses the needs of his constituency. And even those that come here to visit, we've always depended on him to make sure that he understands what our needs are. So is Chief Bear still hanging around here? Murray, where'd Chief Bear go? So at this time, I'd like to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, this illustrious guy I claim as my cousin because I think he has a lot of money the way he dresses. Hey? But no, he's my cousin. He comes from here, originally from Fort Peck. He's got a lot of relatives down there, but again, it's always an honor and a privilege to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, our host. Let's give him a big round of applause. Chief Darcy Bear. Chief?
Homitakapi, Apetigde Ostedo, Chiteweste Waston, Apechuzapi, Opaska Dakota Oyate, Diana Hippie, et Diana Hippie. Wakamani Hamakepido. Hakanawashte, good morning. I want to, of course, thank my cousin Tommy here. I seen him wearing some golf clothing yesterday, so I told the boys, get him some Dakota doing stuff here. You got to do some good marketing, but. So he said he's going to be out there golfing with that stuff on, so that's great. With that, I want to, of course, acknowledge my aunt, Tui, Senator Vivian Anderson, for the opening prayer. I want to, of course, acknowledge all of the pipe keepers this morning for the pipe ceremony we had, our drum group as well. You know, appreciate all the support, you know, as Ochete Shikomi, as we come together. We have relations here from the States as well. Good to see. And also there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. Just want to thank, of course, all of our staff and, of course, the Dakota Dunes Resort and your staff as well for the work you've done to put this event together. Minister, it was short notice, but I think we've done an excellent job. So maybe a round of applause for all the people behind the scenes that put this together for us. I know everyone has been acknowledged, but I would like to certainly acknowledge Minister Ananda Sangari. Welcome to Opaska, Dakota-Lakota, and we look forward to your apology this morning, something that's been a long time coming. You know, our Chete Shikomi, our 7 council fires, you know, we've had territories on both sides of the border, and there was no border at one time. There was no U.S.-Canada border, and there was no provincial borders, no state borders. And so we've been here since time immemorial. And unfortunately, these governments between the U.S. and Canada put us on these small little tracts of lands called reserves. limited our opportunities, but that's all going to change going forward, and that's what we're looking for, is that acknowledgement today from the minister and from Canada. So I will get more into that when I have to speak, Minister, but right now I'm here to welcome everyone. But I want to, of course, welcome all of our visiting chiefs. And I want, when I announce the chief, I want the nation members to stand up as well, and we'll give them a round of applause. But Chief Lindsey Bunn and Birdtail Sioux, if the Birdtail Sioux members can stand up, please. On behalf of my elders and my nation members, we welcome my council, we welcome all of you here to our nation. We also want to welcome Chief Raymond Brown from Chinupawakpa. Can all the members from Chinupawakpa please stand up as well, along with the chief? We want to, of course, welcome Chief Donnie Smoke of the Dakota Plains, and the Dakota Plains members, please stand up with the chief, please. I want to recognize Chief Dennis Pache and Dakota Teepee, and the Dakota Teepee members, please stand up. I want to welcome Chief Vincent Tachan from Sioux Valley. Chief Tachan, and your members from Sioux Valley, please stand up. I want to welcome Chief Itansha, Chief Roger Redmond from Standing Buffalo. And the Standing Buffalo members, please stand up, please. My Koda, Chief Redmond, he says, don't worry, Chief. He says, if nobody wants the rooms, I'll take them all, he said. My Chief from Wakbeton, Chief John Waditika, and Wapayton band members, please stand up. Chief Ellen LeCain from Wood Mountain Nation, and her members, please stand up. Alyssa Schatz, who works in the minister's office, is actually a member from Wood Mountain. I want to as well, of course, acknowledge some visiting senators here. During our self-government treaty process here in the Wapaska, Dakota-Lakota, and moving that forward and getting acknowledgement of Aboriginal peoples in Canada with Section 35 rights is now going to be extended to all of our nations. But certainly their support from Senator Arnott, Senator Klein, and Senator Cotter. If you can all rise, I'll give them a round of applause. That was Bill C-51, and it received unanimous consent from the Senate as well as from the House of Commons. So we want to thank you for that. And want to, of course, recognize from the FSIN my daughter, Vice Chief Ali Bear. Good friend of mine from our tribal council, Saskatoon Tribal Council, Tribal Chief Mark Arcan. And another good friend, where's Grand Chief Hardlot? Where'd he go? Still here? There he is, Grand Chief Hardlot from Prince Albert Grand Council. Yeah. So, I hope I didn't forget anyone. I'm looking here. I think I got everybody. If I did, I can make it up. I'll be back up here again later. But I also want to acknowledge, most importantly, is our elders, our members from Opaska, Dakota-Lakota. If you can all please stand, along with my council members, Councillor Dwayne Eagle and Councillor Frank Royal. I also have two former councillors here as well, Councillor Carl Royal and Councillor Gary Eagle. Give a wave. But as we all know, this has been a journey for all of us. All of our nations, our ancestors have fought for this recognition for over 300 years. We go back to the War of 1812, and it's over 200 years. And I know Canada is a young nation, and they only go back to 1867. But it's long before that when our ancestors helped make Canada a nation. And many of the First Nations here in Canada actually had treaties in the United States and still signed treaties in Canada. But unfortunately for our people, we were treated differently. There was a discrimination against our people, saying we were United States United States tribal members. And the thing is, we had lands on both sides of the border. And many First Nations in this country had lands on both sides of the border as well. And yet they still signed treaty here in Canada, and we were left out. And the land quantum is a lot different, 16 acres per person versus 128 acres per person for those in Treaty 6. So those kinds of things, Minister, when you make your apology today, you know we're going to be holding you accountable in regards to compensation for all of the past wrongs and correcting the historical wrongs that happened. So with that, I want to again welcome all of you here today, and then we're going to turn it back over to Tommy, and we will, Tommy, the floor is yours. I'm out of here.
All right, let's give our leadership another big round of applause. Good job, Chief Darcy Bear. Oh, he's got something to say.
Sorry, my staff just handed to me, and apologies, but also want to recognize from FHQ, Tribal Chief Jeremy Fourhorns. Tribal Chief, can you please stand up? It's good to see our tribal reps here as well to come and witness this apology to the Dakota-Lakota. And it's very important to all of our people right across Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Also, MNS Métis Nations Regional Rep Wendy Gervais. Are you in the audience? Thank you.
All right, again, thank you very much. And again, ladies and gentlemen, an acknowledgement to our relationship, like I was talking earlier about our spiritual content and how we do things. Right after the minister speaks, I'm going to call up Miso Zikana Zi Hokshila to come up in Dakota and share with you these words in Dakota. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we've been waiting for this few hundred years, not that long. But again, it's an apology that is far overdue as it relates to the Dakota and Lakota. And again, we extended that, and we didn't let that happen, and we didn't tell them to do it. We asked for it long ago through many of our leadership, but because we're not aggressive in our state of character, we chose to, when it's their time, they feel comfortable, we let them do that. But at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Minister Anadas Angry. Come on up here if you would. Big round of applause for our visitor.
Good morning. Hello, bonjour. Tommy told me to take my time, so I think we're here till about 12. But this is a very important morning for all of you gathered here, but also for Canada. And I want to first acknowledge that we stand on the land that has long been home to the Cree, the Saulteaux, Nakota, Lakota, Dakota peoples, and the Métis. And we must acknowledge the footsteps and heartbeats of those who reciprocally love, learn from, and care for this land since time immemorial. We recognize the ancestors who have walked before us, as well as the many generations to come. And I was so pleased to see many elders here today, as well as many young people, young boys and girls who are here to mark this solemn day. I want to acknowledge the pipe keepers as well as the drummers who started this morning in a very beautiful way. As I woke up, the sun was rising, overlooking the greens here, and I was just reflecting on what an important day this is, what a beautiful day it's turning out to be as we sat through the pipe ceremony this morning, gathered by many of the chiefs that are here today. I want to acknowledge Elder Vivian Anderson, Senator Vivian Anderson, for opening this meeting with your very thoughtful remarks. And I want to thank the many chiefs of the Dakota and Lakota First Nations who are here today, and I want to acknowledge them if you will allow me. Chief Lindsey Bunn Jr. from Birdtail, Sioux Dakota Nation, Chief Raymond Brown, Chun Ni Wakpa Dakota Nation, Chief Don Smoke, Dakota Plains, Wahpeton First Nation, Chief Dennis Pache, Dakota TP First Nation, Chief Vincent Takan, Sioux Valley Dakota Nation, Chief Roger Redmond, Standing Buffalo Dakota Nation, Chief John Waditaka from the Wahpeton Dakota Nation, Chief Darcy Bear, Whitecap Dakota Nation, Chief Ellen Lacane, Wood Mountain Lakota First Nation, and also my sincere gratitude to others who joined as well, and I hope I don't miss anyone, but of course, Vice Chair of FSIN, Ali Bear, Chief Mark Arkand, Saskatoon Tribal Council, who hosted me last night. We went for a very important tour of the work that the Saskatoon Tribal Council has been doing in supporting many people who are struggling and who are going through difficult times. So thank you, Chief, and I appreciate the time you spent. Jerry Daniels, Grand Chief, Southern Chiefs Organization. And I want to acknowledge a number of elected and appointed people that are here today. I do want to qualify that. Of course, Senator Arnott, Senator Cotter, as well as Senator Klein, who are here, who represent Saskatchewan and who are incredible allies for the work that we do on reconciliation. So I want to thank them, and I want to acknowledge them, as well as Minister of Justice and Attorney General for Saskatchewan, Ms. Bronwyn Iyer. So thank you for your leadership. I do want to take a moment to thank the many people who've been involved in this journey. I want to say that one of the reasons why we're here today, I know there's many reasons, but on our end, there are a number of people that have been very involved. I want to thank Aya and her team here who have been persistent in making sure we get to this point. Minister Miller, who was my predecessor, I would say was instrumental in pushing the government forward, and I would be remiss if I don't acknowledge Sarah Dunn, who worked with her and briefly with me for her work, as well as Alyssa, who herself is very much impacted by this Wood Mountain Lakota First Nation. So I want to thank all of you and your colleagues for the work that they've done here. It's been 1 year since, it's about a year since I came here right after being sworn in as Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations, and one of the first formal acts I did was to sign the Reconciliation Treaty with Whitecap First Nation. I'm incredibly grateful to be here again and to continue the important work that the Dakota-Lakota and the Government of Canada have done together. This day is one of great significance, both to all those here and to those who couldn't be but are following us through social media. Recognition of the rightful place of the Dakota-Lakota is significant and it's overdue. Today is part of a new era of our nation-to-nation relationship and our work towards reconciliation with the Dakota and Lakota First Nations in Canada. To move forward on dismantling the harmful legacies of colonialism, to acknowledge past wrongs, and to rebuild trust. Words are hollow if not followed by action. So to your point, Chief Bear, we have a lot more work to do. This is the beginning of a new journey, and I commit to you to making sure that we walk that path together. As Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations, I want to reaffirm our strong commitment to each Dakota and Lakota nation. We will continue to work together to address the past, implement your nation's rights, and to advance our distinctive and evolving relationships. We will continue to have meaningful discussions starting this afternoon with all of you that are community-driven and based on each nation's unique priorities and vision for greater self-determination. It is only when we work together as equal partners that we can truly move forward on reconciliation and build a better future for the generations to come, the many of the young people that are here and many of the children not yet born. I'm here today to deliver this honest and genuine apology on behalf of the Government of Canada to the 9 Dakota-Lakota First Nations in Canada and their citizens. I know I could never erase the pain that you've endured, but it is an undeniable step that must be taken, and it is the right thing to do. So what follows is the formal apology. Dakota and Lakota elders, chiefs, counselors, and to all community members who are both here and watching back in their communities. It is both my duty and my humble honor to be here today to turn the page on a dark chapter of our national story and to formally recognize and acknowledge the Dakota-Lakota as Aboriginal peoples of Canada with constitutionally protected rights and forming an essential part of our national story and fabric. Today, on behalf of the Government of Canada and all Canadians, we seek to begin to mend this injustice with 3 simple words. We are sorry. We acknowledge that you have been treated as second-class First Nations and strangers here on your own land in Canada, a Canada that you helped defend, build, and develop. We recognize the hurt that this has caused generations of your citizens. We hope today that we can remove the stain and begin the important work of healing. As part of the peoples of Oceti-Sakowin, the Dakota and Lakota have, since time immemorial, used, lived on, occupied, and drawn life, spirituality, and culture from the vast territories within what is now the United States and Canada. When the French and English left their homelands and came to yours, they were welcomed by the Dakota and Lakota as guests, as partners in lucrative trade, and above all, later, as allies. Indeed, I'm told that the words Dakota and Lakota mean ally or friends in your languages, and it is fitting. The Dakota and Lakota were steadfast allies with the Crown. Their practice of allyship brought with it economic growth, peace, and security for all. Your ancestors fought valiantly and with great distinction alongside and as an ally with the Crown in many conflicts that have marked our shared history. But it was perhaps during the War of 1812 that your allyship, your honor, and your valor shone the brightest. And despite this, you were later disregarded and betrayed. Success would not have been possible without the bravery and skill of the Crown's Indigenous allies, including warriors from your nations, who answered the plea to help to defend what is now Canada. During the bicentennial commemorations of the War of 1812, Canada presented new War of 1812 medals to recognize the critical role of Indigenous peoples, including the Dakota nations, in defending what is today Canada. Your nation's participation in the War of 1812 resulted in a promise of assistance from the British Crown in your dealings with the Americans should you need it. That promise was soon broken in the negotiations that concluded with the Treaty of Ghent of 1815, ending the War of 1812. Indigenous peoples, it has been said, won the War of 1812, but lost the peace that followed. This sense of betrayal only deepened when in the 1860s, certain of your ancestors journeyed back north to the lands that now form part of Canada and sought recognition as partners. You presented your flags and medals to officials as woven and cast reminders of your long history of allyship with the Crown. Yet you were not welcomed by the Crown as cherished allies, but as American Indian refugees. This was wrong. You were allies. You were not refugees. After the Lakota had defeated the American army at the Battle of the Greasy Grass, they turned to their home in the north. The Lakota called upon Canada to recognize them as subjects of the Queen, but Canada regarded them as American Indians, wrongfully tarnishing the relationship between the Crown and the Lakota. The impacts and the harms went beyond the enormous disrespect and dishonor that this represented. It resulted in your nations being allotted reserve lands that were and that remain today smaller in size than those extended to other First Nations who adhered to treaty. Indeed, the meager land set aside for you were a fraction of what Canada eagerly made available to non-Indigenous settlers of the prairies. Your leaders were present at the negotiation of numbered treaties, but were excluded from treaty making. You did not receive the promise that came with treaties, such as an annuity payments and land allocations. As Canadians, we must all understand that as a result, you did not relinquish any of your rights. For over 150 years, you have been denied the recognition and rights as Aboriginal people that were owed to you. But you were not spared the indignities and practices of assimilation that the Canadian government inflicted on Indigenous peoples. The reserve system, the pass system, the Indian Act, the theft of your children, and the assault on your culture and traditions through residential schools. The 60s scoop, the child welfare system, and other devastating and racist policies that have harmed Indigenous peoples in Canada and excluded your nations from sharing in Canada's growing economic wealth. You have shared in this experience, yet have been denied the constitutional recognition and protection that other Indigenous peoples have. There's no way to undo the years of collective trauma your people and nations endure to this day. You have lived, breathed, and felt the effects of the Canadian government's and actions and indifference for over 150 years. Yet despite the racism, discrimination, social and economic exclusion, and lingering harms of colonialism, your dignity as Indigenous peoples remains unbroken. Never forgetting or relenting and guided by your ancestors, you have proudly endured, drawing strength from your rich history, language, and culture. You've never stopped fighting for recognition as Aboriginal peoples of Canada, with a unique relationship with the Crown built on our long-standing ties of friendship and as allies. You have continued to breathe so much into the social, cultural, spiritual, and economic life of this country. Your perseverance, strength, resilience, enduring honor, and unbroken faith is a testament to the very things that have made you such indispensable allies and contributors to Canada. We are sorry, deeply remorseful that it has taken too long for us to acknowledge and apologize for our actions. Today, as we seek to open a new chapter, we are mindful that so many of your leaders and members who fought for this day are not here to see it. We honor and pay special tribute to them. Acknowledging with honesty and humility our shared and at times difficult history is essential for us to move forward in partnership and in a spirit of reconciliation. But words, while important, are hollow if not followed by action. If nothing else, our shared history is a testament to this harsh reality. If today is to mean anything at all, it must lay a foundation upon which the Government of Canada and the Dakota and Lakota peoples can rebuild our nation-to-nation relationships on the principles of respect for rights, cooperation, partnership, and trust, the very principles that form the original basis for our relationship. And so this government will work in partnership with the Dakota and Lakota nations to co-develop, at long last, treaties and agreements that affirm your rightful place as Aboriginal peoples of Canada in the constitutional framework. And from this day forward, let no one repeat the hurtful claim that this country, this Canada that you helped defend and shape, and that you continue to contribute so much to, is not your home. We stand with you to say, at long last, what you have never forgotten, that you are not strangers here, that you are indeed Aboriginal peoples of Canada, that you are home. That is the formal apology, and I want to just take a moment just to say how moved I am by all of you here. You know, my family came to Canada as refugees, as actual refugees in 1983. And the journey that you've had to recognize what has always been yours has been quite painful, and I want to just acknowledge that. And I want to acknowledge that the work that we have to do ahead will be done, and we will walk together. And I want to just say thank you for your patience, and thank you for your enormous generosity. Thank you.
Hey, what do you think of that, ladies and gentlemen? Should give them a round of applause. Good job. Oh, man. To hear those words on behalf of the federal government is really amazing. It's about time, long time awaiting, so thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Also, we forgot to acknowledge some newly elected FSIN youth chiefs. Cage Star, Pushka there, male youth chief, and Tehana Buffalo, the Two-Spirit youth chiefs. And are they here? Where you at, Cage? There he is right there. What about Tehana? Where are you at? All right. Okay, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, again, it's a great honor and a privilege for me to introduce this next individual that's going to help us understand the importance of that connection in a spiritual way to our grandfathers and our grandmothers. I'd like to introduce to you Misung Zitkana Z Hokshila, who's going to share with us what you just heard from this gentleman here in a good way in Dakota. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to my younger brother here, none other than Zitkana Z Hokshila.
Omidakipi. Ja piti ostea. Hayuskia. Hayopia wahinashindo. Unka yomakpi. Naku kitna chatema shiche. Hasapito ostea honka tichiko eduhipi. Hektakia aatuinga hektakia wawiksi. Ahomoksere taha. Ha kushio kanyate wohda kapi na ichacho. Unka tako ota I wohda kapi. Unka tako ji kapki he. Apetu a ucha api. Tokata ki apetu a woye kapte. Tokata ki o geikshawana uchashta wia utankapi. Kaya takosho kshira kideya tokata ki awakikte. Hapetu kide edwahinoshi nina imantando. Hekta ke auntuam kaha, skawi chasta. Hatu kieta ho te o ya kumpu ka hi huni. O ka hi huni he taha taku ota. Woka kisha oho ya kumpi. O re Dakota ki api tiuchi dapi. Dakota chocha wochi ki tiuchi dapi. Hawota ki aonki dakapi hina tiuchi dapi. Hoi kiera a hakitis un keep ka. Hoi nach da haya, ik sewi chasta ki dit na ushimpi. Hawochi ki tiuchi dapi. Dakota ki api. Wa oho da wok chip kep. En dan moet ik je bij, kijk zo en als je voor Peter en dat. Had hij al zo aan Peter. We ook bij dat hitje daar. Wat zie je? We ook hier bij dat. Chakus van Peter. Al kita ko bij otapi. In ana eontopi. Had aku toch achponki op zetje gas. Akivu kikik chupi Peter kire. Ka Peter kire. Ik chewi chaste ki wana ukina jipte. O heche iukcha dena kawita. O uchi kawachi uhina jipira. I had an opportunity this morning briefly to ride the elevator with my Tahanshi. We spoke briefly. We went up to the top floor, we came back down. Okay, we went back up. And we spoke for a bit. I want to say in my Dakota language, Kushkawa deche hinaji. We hina pecheta hihuni, chasta atapi. Wakik tuja unkidapi. Hamishme ikchewi chasta hamachaga. Hawakik tuja kihe, ichipash waku. Hawa kansha ki de hinajimpi timai. Hawa kunshiga ukanyatu de hinajimpi. Hena epi. Tokatike unke hena doha maunipte. Wakik tu jepi waya kumpte ki kchewi chashte ki hun ki top. Chate hun ki top eta hena. Apetu yuha wochike. Apetu yuha wakik tu je. Unsha maunipte hetje da han hipido. Da kori chochan tichike api uchaka pido. Da kori chochan tichike na ka twewa ukishni. Oho kishni ki hina. Hana wichunkik sape apetu kire. Hekta ke aunto ka itancha ota. Koshia najimpi. Hana epi wichoik se khana kide chante mashiche. I look back at the time of 1763. Upau genum, wikshemna shak me samoji. Hahai apetu kide yonki pepe apetu kide. 1812, ukichi se tonka. Ha ikchewi cheshtu wichoi hapi, ha hawana diro yakopi ma koche kide akan. Ho he yega ke. Ha unkita kuya wichoi hapi, chaku sampeta iba wa uki api hichia. Ho hichu kai chumpi uke uchakashkapi. The Fort Snelling. The slavery. The hanging of 38 Dakota, 1862. The Minnesota uprising, utakuya wichoi hapi. Hukuya hichi iba oichaki api. O he tā yega, pishis da, the greasy grass battle. O kichi ze tonko ake, a kichi ta wichunam hichi iba wa oki api. O wohi a tonka yu ha hidihuni pedo. Hanami tāku api kiksua mani po. Hano ke dichi a hihuni. Tiate ki aku he uka chaku opta. Chakunda tag ehedipi. Ukadahan he chakunda tag ehedipi. Uke ukita kuepi. Yeshinu ayakumpi, takunk chapi, ukaki ktu chapi do. E se mi tākio pe apetu te tā tukata kia. Te naki ksua manipo. As of this day forward, we are going to be no longer a reservation. The reservations are only in Africa to withhold the animals, the wildlife. We are proud Dakota nation, mi takiopi, hanaki ksuyapo. Ho hedi sakibe naku. Washichu ichoi residential school api. Washichu ichoi day school. The 60 scoop. The murdered missing women and men. Hana kachdog ukihonipi. Ho hana kachdog da kolwi chocha o hana wochikia. Hana khdahai did na ushimpido. We have come through various obstacles mitakuipi. Kapetu kedetchen uhinashimpi. Uki ta chiki dena washide yetchen uki ukchampte. Kahetche ka tukata ki uke sania maunipte. Kapetu kede uke ipshni. Tukata ke ukichi chachata mani ubdena. Sampo takojo kbaku ichume hape uke ichagapshning hina. Our leadership, our oyate. Chakuta hedachapo make that proper road for our young children to follow us. Dakota chochan techeke itanchamki. Today we stand together as one. Wita. Mitakria pi itampo. Hekta hana. Uchima kochikide Canada apki. There is thousands and thousands. Kiktopache ota. Ikchewichasto yakumpi. Hodahan. Dakota yanke, Lakota yanke. Napchionka. Kiktopache wikchemna. Anaksha ched oyakumpi dahan. Oksia nauship de yetchit, omitakwe. Koshkawa de chidutake. Wakik tu jonkirapi. Hana nakhumba ke misha. De ta tukata ki taku kegena abdeswa unkter. Onisha dena nita chamke. Taku ochta ni chanupki dena achieved this up there. Ladies and gentlemen, I speak on behalf of my relatives, our elders of Dakota Nation, Lakota Nation. Too long we've remained quiet. We still have our ceremonies today. We still have our language today. The prophecies, the ocheti shakoin. Hanakiksura po apitu yuha. Ota kira ota toga khpaichumpe. Skawi chastet ke euntomka inana eunpasopi. Makoshi cho hi unka. COVID hi huni. Makoshi cho gaso tap te unka. Wa cheke na ushimpir. Ikchewi chashteki dina. Wanisha kapido, wanikampido. Hanaki chumpo. We are sacred people. Hear me talk to you, those of you that don't understand. Be proud of who you are. Utilize those ceremonies. After all, since Christopher Columbus arrived here, we are still here today. Kiksia po na mitakuyati. Dana Dakoti wa oyakachnecha pehecha ho apo. Aho. Haiche nakshamishe pektip terera. Zit gazi ukshire monkyapi. Ha konshu kawa ichachmapi. Makasi tomnia. Dakoti chika ukte kapi. Hana wasi woyen kapi. Wasana edun kipi. Hasnach chanchacha kide unhapi. Hanach wochike wiwang wachipi. Hamadecha. Hunka ceremony. Daku da koru chokhun kitab na hinach do harmoni. Deno khe unyu hapshne hecha ikikchupo. Apetu de tanto katakia. Adecha da ke uhine shimpi. Apetu kiri yanki pepe wana tohan. Kiksua po skawi chashta ki uhunapi. Wani te oto pōhe tōnakcha uhnaba. Nakdahai naushipe. In closing, mitakuipi. Our leaderships, itachanki. We have relied on that government. Kiksio po hera, which has to ayatapi. Ukisha tohai uhnapi. Some of us are standing here uncertain of our future because we've been lied to, we've been dictated to, we've been oppressed. And yes, sometimes our own people, we do that to ourselves, that learned behavior. Hana ukokach nihapi, don't be takuyapi. He un chanu ba unhapi. Pte sawi. Kiktopo henumpa chetu hea ha, 2,000 years. 19 generation, uchoi chache. Chanu pa hi, chanu pa kidi ukumte kapi. Hadara mahadam apetua, na ionki khbaba, yaha chonki up. Ikchewi chashta hon chapi. Apeto si na tako ki uhdusna pcheu kija. Walkik tu jo dapte, apeto yuha. Akhana wi na peka kiktabo, wochike apo. Chteitu ki ukapte kaha. Wochike apo. Dako hdushi chapin chechagash. After all, we are human. We will make mistakes. But atewa kanteka unhapi. We are a very unique tribe of people that we can communicate with that higher power. Atewa kanteka. Nami taku pikiksuepo. Yushkia apetu kile yokpe na pichius api. Taku utechik ohana kachdogu hinhunib. Nachde na unshimpin. Always remember the defects of character, our difficulties we all went through. On a happier note, because of our belief system, for our grandchildren, our children yet to come, we are still standing here, mitakuyapi. Itampo, wana inajimpo, mitakuyawas. Wopire chicha pedo. Aho.
Hey, and then for those of you that don't understand, I'll translate. Hey, next. All right, we want to thank my brother here, Harold Blacksmith from Sioux Valley, for that very beautiful translation. And again, it's a little different. It's not wrong. It's just different, the way we see things. And again, acknowledging our ideology based on a philosophy that a lot of people don't understand. But like he was saying, this is a very memorable day. So at this time, there's other agencies that have been working with the Dakota-Lakota people, and we want to have a little bit of input from them. We're going to give them 3 minutes each, and we're kind of stand firm on 3 minutes. Murray is going to time us. So we'd first like to call up an individual who worked very hard with the Dakota people. He's a former treaty commissioner, Senator David Arnott. Come on up here, sir, if you would.
Okay, thank you very much for that kind introduction, Tommy. I do want to say a couple of things here. I want to say it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in Saskatchewan. It's a beautiful day in treaty territory where the sun is shining, the grass is growing, and the rivers are flowing. Those are the words of the first treaty commissioner, Alexander Morse. In 1874, he denied the Dakota chiefs entering into treaty at Fort Qu'Appelle. In 1876, he denied again Dakota chiefs trying to enter treaty at 1876 at Fort Carleton, just a few kilometers north of here. And also, in 2007, the government of Canada refused to have adhesion by the Dakota-Lakota First Nations to Treaty 6 and Treaty 4. I want to say it's a real honor to be part of the grand entry and to hear that powerful drumbeat this morning. I think it's very moving, and it's a good reminder. So to the people of the Dakota-Lakota First Nations here today, and in particular to Elder Vivian Anderson for the prayer, and to all the elders that are here, to the chiefs, the councilors, and the members, I want to say thank you for coming and thank you for inviting me. It's my honor to be with you here this morning and to have received this statement of apology from the Government of Canada, to be able to hear it from the minister. I want to acknowledge too my friends, Senator Klein from Saskatchewan, Treaty 4 territory, and Senator Cotter from Treaty 6 territory. To Minister Ananda Sangari, thank you for making that momentous apology. Thank you for your words straight from the heart. Thank you for the way that you've dealt with this issue. I want to say that there was a very smooth transition from Minister Miller to Minister Ananda Sangria. And as he said, some of this had been done, moving this agenda forward, had been done before. But it always takes somebody, even if you're at the goal line, the 1 yard line, to carry the ball over the line. And there's such a smooth transition between the previous minister and Minister Ananda Sangari. And he was, the first public event he went to was here just about 1 year ago, as he said. I want to also acknowledge First Nations, FSIN, Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations Chief, Vice Chief Ali Bear, who's with us here today, and Minister Bronwyn Eyre from the Government of Saskatchewan. I want to also acknowledge MLA, but former Minister Don Morgan, who was Minister while I was Treaty Commissioner in Saskatchewan of Justice. You are all witnesses to the words that finally and without equivocation recognize the Dakota-Lakota people as Aboriginal peoples in Canada. The words that finally and without equivocation recognize the constitutionality which is protected by Section 35 rights for the First Nations, the Dakota-Lakota First Nations. The words that finally clarify that you are no longer denied your rightful place at the table with other First Nations vis-a-vis the Canadian state. You do not need words to tell you that. Even though you were treated unequally, you are nations, whole, strong, and proud. You know who you are, and you know what you've been denied. Even though you've been denied, you have never stopped working for this official and rightful recognition. I was fortunate enough 20 years ago to be at the exploratory treaty table in Saskatchewan where discussions about the status and recognition for the Dakota-Lakota First Nations people first took place. I can say that the evidence given to the Treaty Commissioner was compelling, absolutely compelling. The position of the Government of Canada in the 1870s was an example of hubris based on a colonial approach which was unilateral, arbitrarily, and fundamentally unfair. Therefore, it was wrong. Today, I think back to the treaty table with the guidance of Elder Melvina Eagle, the late Elder Mel Littlecrow, the leadership of longtime councillors Frank Royal and Dwayne Eagle, and the determination, perseverance, hard work, and patience of Chief Darcy Bear to unrelentingly push forward for this day. I want to also say about the treaty, the medals that were given in 1763 in Montreal and in 1812 after the War of 1812. Look at those medals. There's two of them here today. They were in the Treaty Commission office when I was Treaty Commissioner. One's from 1763, the other from 1812. What I saw in those medals, and what you can see obviously, is those medals were worn proudly by Dakota chiefs for over 200 years. You can see they're worn on one side, the side that the medal sat on the chest of those chiefs. That was compelling evidence at the time. I want to acknowledge, by the way, the Chief Roger Redmond from Standing Buffalo, who was part of that, and the former Chief Leo O'Mani from Wahpeton, who was part of it, and as well, of course, Whitecap, Dakota, and Chief Bill Goodtrack from Wood Mountain, the Lakota First Nations. I know and believe that this historic apology is a fundamental step toward the long-awaited healing and reconciliation. That is a step toward the renewal of a nation-to-nation relationship. Yes, this apology has been a long time in coming, but today, as much as I reflect on the past and as much as I'm relishing this day with my own eyes, I want to focus on the future. Today I have hope for a better relationship, a better partnership between the Dakota-Lakota First Nations and Canada, based on mutual benefit and mutual respect, fairness, equity, and reconciliation. I see a future where self-government negotiations have been completed, where modern-day treaties have been created, a place where economic reconciliation has occurred, a place where the Dakota-Lakota First Nations enjoy the peace, prosperity, and harmony that's the very essence of Canada. I ask all of you here today to work together to leverage this historic day and to look forward to the future, a future for the Dakota-Lakota peoples of today, but also generations to come, a future for them. Thank you very much, and congratulations to everyone. Congratulations to the minister for offering the apology, and congratulations to the 9 Dakota-Lakota chiefs for accepting that apology. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Senator David Arnott. Again, this guy worked tirelessly on these efforts in years past. Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, and again, listen now, Toja. 3 minutes, gal badoo. We'd like to introduce to you the FSIN Vice Chief, Ali Bear. Toja, let you.
Apeti washte, atue iohana, achiapi, tatanka skawi, amakia peye, wapaha ska, oyate tahawahi. Good day, everybody. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to those that lifted the pipe for us this morning to start us off in a good way. I want to give thanks to the Creator for this beautiful day that we have, this historic day that we have today. I want to give thanks to my Kushi and Senator Anderson for starting us off in a good way and praying for all of us here today. I want to acknowledge all the leadership in the room, all my relations in this room. It's an honor to be a part of that grand entry. It was an honor to walk in that grand entry. And it's to walk in those doors and to hear our women trilling. It was a beautiful moment, and it made me feel really emotional because it's just a reminder of how strong and how resilient we are, and that we are still here, and that we're not going anywhere, and that we're And as I stand up here, I want to acknowledge the shawl that I'm wearing. This is my Kushi's shawl, my Kushi Rose. She's passed on now. My dad's mother. And she's the matriarch of our community. And we feel that loss when we lose our matriarchs. We feel it in our families. We feel it in our whole nations. And we know that a lot of the reason why we've come this far is because of those women that were the glue and the backbone to our nations. And we must continue to honor and respect our Kushis and the matriarchs who have guided us today to where we're at as well. Because, she might not be here, but she's here with me, just like our ancestors, just like the ones that came before us, just like the ones who fought for this day to be here. They're still here, and they're still with us, and they're inside of us right now, and they're trying to guide us to where we are at. And that's what I've seen. None of this was here when I was little, when I was born. Whitecap didn't have paved roads. Whitecap was moose woods. And, I've been able to witness my father, Chief Bear, bring this vision to life. I've been able to witness all of this come to life. And it's something, that is instilled in me. And that's something that I carry with me as well, is that vision to see us come together, to see us united, to see us stronger together. And I want to give thanks, to our allies and to Minister Gary Anasangri for his apology today on behalf of Canada, because this is a long overdue apology. We continue to go through this intergenerational trauma, and we see it rippling in our communities. We see it with our little ones. We see it with missing and murdered Indigenous peoples. And where does all this violence come from, though? That wasn't traditional to who we are prior to European contact. It wasn't normal to raise our children in violent homes. That's not traditional to who we are. That came from colonialism. That came from residential schools. And that colonial violence has now turned into lateral violence. And so we need to recognize that, how it's become embedded in our own communities so that we can speak about it. As my Kushi once told me, she said, if we don't talk about the problem, we'll never have a solution. And so, we need to be able to speak about these issues in our communities because we still have a long way to go. Today is a huge day and a huge step forward, but it takes the younger generation to step up into these positions and to take that torch and to continue to fight for our sovereignty, for our future generations, for those little ones, for my daughters who are here today dancing. I'm trying to tell them who they are, to be proud of who they are. When we grow up in a colonial world, it's very hard to, understand, and we don't have our language. We don't have what connects us to the land. I can't speak my language. One day I will. And I will say that one day I will speak my language. And I give thanks to all of those that are language keepers in this room who continue to keep our language alive, because our language is who we are. We are not Dakotas, Lakotas, Nakotas without our language. The Osheti Shikowi, the people of the Seven Council Fires. We are a strong nation. And a lot of people knew that, and that's why they wanted to strip us of what we had, because they knew how strong we are. But we'll continue to fight, and we'll continue to uplift each other, and we'll continue to work together with one another and with our allies. And with that, it's such an honor to be here. I want, give thanks to all of our leadership and all the hard work that they do to get us here to this point today. And, just know that our future generations will continue to fight that good fight for the ones who are yet to come and for the ones who are no longer here. Damakota, Parame Matakoas.
And she's not only a vice chief, she's also a lawyer. A kind of smart Indian. You got to watch out for those kind now. Look out. But at this time, again, there's different agencies that worked on this apology. And another one here is Saskatoon Tribal Chief Mark Arcan. Sir, if you'd come on up, please. Another one. 3 minutes.
Sorry, Tommy, we're on Indian time. Can I have a motion for that, please? Thank you. I just want to say, Tansai Nanaskman Kakeo Pitaksinia Kota, to your home in Treaty 6 territory. I just want to say, honor all the protocols, all the chiefs, everybody's been mentioned, to our drum group, to our elders, to our Senator Vivian for our opening prayer, but most importantly to the people. I stand here today to bear witness to a time in history we're all going to talk about this, for the Dakota-Lakota people that have been, in my view, dishonored, mistreated, and it should have never happened to our people. And I say to Minister Gary Anasandagri, this is personal to me, because I have a brother from the Wapayton Dakota Nation, Sheldon, and my late sister Bonnie, who was murdered in James Smith. I also have a family from Standing Buffalo, Dakota Nation, Eddie Taliaka. So this is personal to me in regards to how my family has been treated by a system we must all change together. This system has suppressed our people for many, 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 many years, and we can't stand back anymore and let this happen. To all the speakers that talked about all the devastating impacts to our people through residential schools, to murder and missing Indigenous women and girls and men, to incarceration rates. I had a pleasure last night of taking Minister Gary to tour streets in Saskatoon, to witness our people in 2024 still struggling from all of that devastation. And that's not right. You heard Minister Gary say it's the right thing to do. Well, I call upon Canada to start making proper investments so our people don't suffer anymore in poverty, in neglect, so our next generation of children can have a better future than all of the elders that have left us to the spirit world, where they have to struggle for their identity. And when I say that with honesty and integrity and humbleness, there's many people that could be standing in this position right now speaking to all of you. But but I speak because my family's been impacted by the negativity to Dakota and Lakota people, and I'm sorry for that harm that's been placed on all of your nations and all of your people and all of your children and families. And I hope moving forward, they recognize they never took our language, our identity, our culture, our spirit, because all the indigenous people across this land, we lived off Mother Earth. Mother Earth, we take care of her because she takes care of us. And when I think about organizations or institutions of Canada, the provincial governments, I look in Manitoba, Wab Kinew, our premier. We need to take our rightful place in this country, and that's to be leaders of our country, our provinces, and to make a difference in our people's lives. So Minister Gary, thank you for your honesty, your heartfulness, leading with your heart, and making a difference in the Dakota-Lakota people's lives, because they should have never been treated like this. And moving forward, we are going to make a difference together. So let's keep working together, be stronger. Next thing we have to change is the provincial governments. Hi, Nanaskaman. Thank you.
Oh man, these words are getting stronger and stronger. Oh man, we should all paint our face and go attack Saskatoon. No, I'm teasing. You know, again, ladies and gentlemen, these are individuals that not only worked on this apology, but are going to continue to convey the message they hear here today. And again, I'm a very honorable individual here, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General for the province of Saskatchewan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Honorable Bronwyn Eyre here. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Very honored to be here today to stand on Whitecap First Nation and to acknowledge the land that we gather on in the footsteps of the Lakota-Dakota, Woodland Cree, Plains, Saulteaux First Nations, and Métis. Honored to be here on behalf of Premier Moe to take part in this nothing short of historic event and to recognize the important reconciliation happening between Canada and the Dakota-Lakota nations. I would like to thank Chief Darcy Bear for inviting me to take part today, and to recognize Vice Chief Ali Bear, my neighbor, for your eloquence. Also, of course, to recognize Minister Anand Sangiri, senators, my colleague, the Honorable Don Morgan, and all the assembled chiefs of the Dakota-Lakota First Nations who are in attendance, and to honor you. Saskatchewan recognizes the significance of this historic occasion and the importance of the treaty with Canada, which has given Whitecap Dakota First Nation the right to self-government under the Constitution Act, 1982. As the MLA for Stonebridge, Dakota, certainly I want to recognize the role, not only that Chief Whitecap played historically in the founding of Saskatoon, and the importance of the relationship between the city of Saskatoon and Whitecap Dakota First Nation, but also the very vital role, the ongoing role that Chief Bear and this First Nation have with the city and with the province. It is a valuable role and a very valued role. And I'm proud to be here today to honor your storied history and affirm the province's ongoing partnership with the Dakota-Lakota nations. We greatly value the relationships that we've built with you and other First Nations across the province to strengthen the bond between us. In recent years, the Saskatchewan and Whitecap Dakota First Nation have worked together on many projects to enhance autonomy and to improve services. And this amazing series of facilities, have really made this area bloom from a social perspective, from an economic perspective, certainly from a tourism perspective. I was here in 2015 when Premier Brad Wall, former Premier, joined with Chief Bear to announce the construction of a 56-space early learning center at Whitecap Elementary School. The improved road to get here certainly was a priority investment by the provincial government in 2006. From a justice perspective, last year we passed critical amendments to legislation that improve and streamline the enforcement of First Nations laws and bylaws. Really nation-building work. And that any First Nation in Saskatchewan can enforce bylaws and gather fine revenue was a direct result of a memorandum of understanding that was signed between the province and Whitecap, Dakota, and Musqueam First Nations in 2019. And Whitecap has certainly been a very critical partner in that work. In May this year, just very recently, we announced that the Government of Saskatchewan would support construction of the new virtual health hub that's being developed by Whitecap Dakota First Nation in collaboration with Saskatchewan Institute of Technologies, which will initially support delivery of virtual health services for up to 30 communities remotely and improve health outcomes for all Saskatchewan citizens. So we'll continue to work with the Dakota-Lakota nations to create these and the new opportunities that are always around the corner and advance reconciliation here in Saskatchewan and across the country. So thank you so much for having me on this important day, this somber day, but also one that heralds a great deal of future promise and opportunity. Congratulations on this momentous day. Thank you.
Only one that listened right there. Yeah. Good job. Thank you very much. And now what we're going to do is we're going to give each chief 5 minutes to kind of express how they're feeling, what they're doing, what they think about this apology today. And we're going to go in alphabetical order. But each one of them, the chief starts with C. No, it's in no particular order. So just doesn't mean nothing. Okay, first of all, we'd like to call up Chief Lindsay Bunn from Bertel Sioux. You want to come up and share with all of these fine folks about the apology today. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Chief Lindsay Bunn.
Ho metakiapi shinkawaka kiatawa makiapi chankagawatina mataha. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lindsay Bunn Jr. Well, my refugee name is Lindsay Bunn Jr. My Dakota name is, his horse is Lightning, and I'd like to take this time to call up my band members to come share the stage with me. I know I only have 5 minutes, but it'll mean the most to me if you guys could come share the stage with me. So, Bertel Sioux members, if you could come join me up here. Good morning, honored guests, chief counselors, elders, and honored guests on behalf of the Government of Canada. Minister Ananda Sangari, I hope I got that right. Welcome to the beautiful lands of the Dakota-Lakota and Nakota Nation. We have a privilege here today to be a part of history, a beautiful moment in history of the Dakota people, the Chetty Shikui. It was not easy for our people to get to this point, but we are all here as one, strong and united. We have never given up, and we never will. Archaeological evidence indicates Dakota Sioux initially occupied what is now Western Ontario and eastern Manitoba prior to 1200 AD. They also inhabited western Manitoba and eastern Saskatchewan before 980. Their resilience, cultural heritage, and historical significance continues to shape our understanding on our history with Canada. As we move forward, we're excited about the positive impact we can create together. It is an honor to welcome someone who serves our Dakota-Lakota nations. Bertel Dakota gives thanks to Whitecap Dakota Nation for hosting this beautiful event, and we look forward to many new paths our communities will embark on. on our home and native land. For the apology from Canada, my thoughts on this was I really wanted Prime Minister Trudeau to be present, or at least have a video of him acknowledging us as Dakota people. So, moving forward with this apology and all the opportunities that come with it, land acknowledgement, royalties of the land, all the fun stuff is going to start working in the good direction for us as Dakota people, so our people do not have to suffer anymore. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I was up since 4 last night thinking about what I was going to say today here. Also, I'd like to say that the Dakota people should be entitled to their own minister for our own nation to nation with Canada. And on behalf of Bertel Sioux Dakota Nation, I would just like to say thank you for everyone here attending, and safe travels home to everyone. Upidamaya. Matakiwas.
And again, I want to thank Chief Bunn and all of his constituency here. Good to see them here in support of their leadership. Okay, at this time, we're going to go to the next chief. And again, you get 5 minutes, Chief. Chief Raymond Brown from Chanupa Wachpa. Letcha Ukola.
Aho me taki ape tuku. Oste edu hinije pi onkan a te api wa. I trancha a yon hapi makochi ki de. Ha ape tuki de. Wa kiktoja. Uk upi Dakota oyatiki. Wishashta ota Chakata najibi woh de kapi. Onkan Dako ayabi na nino washte ka don kotapi de okoka khnagapte okoki hipi onka abeta ki de wopira thanka iwichi atapina o higa wakik tu jadechel Ukopi. Tka Tatanha peto kide uki apto. Tako ota uchunkopta. Tako ota okapto. Makochiga. Makochi uki tapi. Hana uki tapta. Echi makochi kide uki tape. Oye skao shashta hippie. Ohana makochi. Uki tape na ichupi. Iye tao ihidapi. Tkana yotra yomyamta. Tataha. Okoki hippie. O makochi wa Canada api. Apetu kide tataha. O monipta. Ksideche monipta. Okoki hippie. Tataha. Canada. Down kotapi. Hana aberezapta. Makochi de uki trapi. Dako dana. Uki taku yapi. Hana yohash kampi. Hana orehna. Ichemani yapi. Hana koje wohadaka. Ma chetaha. Uki taku yapi na. Ija na dead umpi. Hana ko naka Dakota. Uchoi Dakota yapi I wohadaka. Nijahna, Ospenichiapta. Danikotapi, Ahantish Kahapi, Dakota Yapo. Apeti Yohia, Dana Wachiakapi. Dana Hunya, Washichaya, Yaumpi. Danikotapi, Dakota Yapo. Oyaki Hipira. Atako je Brotan Wachish, no Inawai. Toktetan, Ichagatan, Washichuation. Ichagatan, Antonia, Wopiska, Wopichaga, which ocean? Ana naka wexi. Oka tataha maoni tekte Dakota kide. Tako ki thopi dina. Washicho Minowacha tahi. Atako ki thop no ye ichu. Ohe iapeki uki thop he de kuichu. Shichecho ki thop in and ku iwichitupi. The no re was the tapita yaipi. Washichuta. Wawons papi tipikta dana yanya puretana. Tka tokra akipking Dakota Yapo. I thought this na Washinchu Oyate. Wichoi ta muktira mtakiapi. Good afternoon, good morning. I would just like to say that going forward with this apology, I'd like to thank the Minister. But in order to go forward, Canada needs to recognize us as a Dakota nation. Lots of work that needs to be done from this day forward. We stand here, we talk about the language, we talk about the lands, we talk about our inherent rights. We as the Dakota people, we should start to practice that. Like I said before, to many circles, it is easy to say we're Dakota, but that's it. Now we need to prove to Canada we are Dakotas. We're the keepers of this land. We need to speak our language. That the Vice Chief Addie Bear said, one day she's going to speak her language. I truly believe that if she puts her mind into it. You all need to do the exact same thing. I see us all day yesterday, the day before, we all sit around talk English. Oh, good morning. We should stop doing that now. My grandmother, my grandfather did not get up. Good morning. So we need to show Canada we are Dakotas, and we need to start speaking and living Dakota way. And I'd like to thank Chief Darcy Bear and White Cap Oyate for hosting this historical event that we have. I know Tom is looking at me. I told him I'm going to stand up here, I'm going to talk for half an hour. But I'd just like to thank everybody that is here, and I'd like to thank all the people of Chinapa that came in support. This is all for all the Dakota Nation to be here. Thank you.
He said he's the only Dakota warrior left. Yeah. Good job. Hatchetune, Chief. Thank you very much. All right, at this time, we're calling up Chief Donnie Smoke. Chief, come on up if you would, sir.
Oha, peti kindani na washtekto. Homi taki api. Damakota, Toyate Abedizia Hokshira, Hamaki apido. Dakota Plains Hokbete Wayate, Achia Tawahi, Imatancha. Chante Washtel Wasnapi, the Chizapi. Good morning, all my relatives. Chief Don Smoke from Dakota Plains. My Dakota name is Boy Who Looks Out Over His People. It's a name that my grandpa gave me, and I was just talking to Dexy there about that Hokshita part. It has to go soon. I'm getting old, but I guess I'll always be a Hokshita to my grandfather, to my unka, Okizi Maza. I would also like anybody who can from Dakota Plains to please come up and stand up here with me as well, please. I asked my daughter to accompany me up here too. I think it's important that we hear from the youth, and it's sort of a heads up to the federal government what you're going to deal with next. Our youth are being educated the Western way, but they're also, being trained in our own Dakota ways, language and culture and traditions. So they're going to be top-notch negotiators one day. So I just wanted to give you a heads up and introduce her to you in a bit here. So. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I am going to turn it over to my daughter, but this headdress that I'm wearing was gifted to me in September of 2021 from my father, the late Hereditary Chief Orville Smoke. And I'm going to read a quote from him, and it's a reference to us being labeled as immigrants. This was in 2019. My father, Chief Orville Smoke, said, "I think eventually we'll get something. No matter what, somebody somewhere is going to realize that the Dakota were treated unfairly and that we do need to be compensated rather than to rely on contribution dollars." He'd be very happy. He'd be very proud to be here today. It's something that was on his heart and something that we talked about right down to his last days with us. Also, one quick one from Chief Red Cloud. "I am poor and naked, but I am the chief of the nation. We do not want riches, but we do want to train our children right. Riches do us no good. We could not take them with us to the other world. We do not want riches. We want peace, and we want love." Dakota Plains. Thank you. Dakota Plains has been victimized time and time and time again, and it still continues to this day. In 1911, our family, with other nations, other families were forcibly relocated from our Dakota territory in the city of Portage Prairie. And not only did we own that land because we're a rights-bearing nation in the area, we also purchased that land. And so we were still removed from there. And to this day, we're still fighting for that recognition. Today's a big step, but we have a lot of work to do. And just recently, when I took over, we were once again being victimized by by a crew that thought that Dakota Plains was an easy mark. My father, Chief Orville Smoke, had a big heart. He trusted people to do their jobs. Some people didn't do it good, and so we're still paying for that to this day. And I'm happy to say that we had a forensic audit done, and we're doing some third-party claims, and that's just the way it's going to be. It's a brand new Dakota Plains, and thank you today because we're going to negotiate with you on a nation-to-nation basis. And in saying that, I'm going to turn it over to my daughter. Thank you. Wopira.
Hawamatakiapi and Petuashe, Hanabe, Makiapi, Dakota Plains of Petu, Hetcha, the Hawahi, Dadya Hipiki, Washte, Dakota Makoti. Hello, everybody. It's a good day. My name is, there's a good day coming. My English name is Sophia Smoke. I'm from Dakota Plains, Petu Nation. It's good to be here. Thank my dad for inviting me up here. Like he said, I, standing here, serve a little bit as a warning to the future. I stand here as someone who is learning and will speak my language. I always speak my language. It's my passion. I am someone who will never give up on knowing my history and retelling my history. In my last year of high school, I'm 17, I'll be graduating this year, but my last year of high school, I did a research paper on our title as refugees. And I was horrified and heartbroken to come across an article called The Canadian Sioux Refugees from Minnesota. I was absolutely appalled as someone who knows that this is my home and this is where I belong and I have an ancestral right to these lands. To write that paper and to know our history was to take on those generations of trauma, and there is nothing that can fix that in me. But it is my responsibility, as it is the next generations, to remember that so that we never forget what we are owed, and we never forget that this is our land. And I'm standing here today, the culmination of everything that they tried to take away from us. I am everything that they hated. I am everything that they were so afraid of, and I will never stop being Dakota. I saw some of my fellow youth out there today. If you're still here, I'm inviting you guys to come with me to the future. Sitting Bull said, "Why does it matter how long I pray if my prayers will be answered anyways?" Our ancestors' prayers were said long ago, generations ago, and they're still being answered today. Their prayers are still protecting you, they're still on you, they're still anointing you. We still have that power, and never forget it. So again, I want to invite the youth with me to the future to continue this, because while my grandfather died waiting for this simple apology, his roof will be our floor. We will ask for more, and we will never stop. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to the minister. Thank you, Chief Bear. Thank you to your community for hosting us. Thank you to everybody else that's here today. It's a beautiful day, and I want to just acknowledge my membership here. Thank you for making the trip. It's a very emotional day. So, Wupita, thank you.
All right. Oh, you got to watch out for that young lady there. Oh, man. Donna, are you teaching her that? I know you. Good job there, Grandma. Okay, we're going to go to the next chief here, and it's Chief Dennis Pache. Come on over, sir. I'll teach you how to swing that chipper next time, but I needed money yesterday, so. Good job. No, we had a good game. So, again, Chief Dennis Pache, Dakota Teepee.
Oh, Matakapi. No, Tommy Christian, I gave him a name. Called him the Magic Christian. Those golf scores all of a sudden magically got lower. I wanted to acknowledge the pipe keeper who had the ceremony this morning for our prayers, the drum group sang the songs for us, all the elders, Chief Darcy Bear and his community for hosting the event, Dakota-Lakota, all the people who are here. And I guess I want to have a special acknowledgement for a fellow I worked with a lot of years, Mr. Cy Standing from Wapayton. Worked a lot of years, long time. As a leader since 1978, I have long thought about this day that Canada would acknowledge our nation, our people, our Oyate, and our central and critical role in the forming of Canada as we know it today. I thought about what this day would look like, and the smiling faces of my family, our ancestors hearing these words of apology. The day is truly historic, and I bring thanks on behalf of our community, Dakota Teepee First Nation, to Minister Anda Zandagri and the Prime Minister. I'd like to also say me too, like the Berthiel people. Could my band members who come many miles come to the front as well? I know many traveled most of the night. We had our Sundance this week, and they finished that ceremony yesterday and drove all night to be here. Also, I don't know, Councillor Carl is here, Councillor Miller, there's Councillor Miles, Councillor Carl as well. Carl is our Sundance chief. What I did not envision all those years ago was the devastating effects of the exclusion of our nation and the development of Canada, the take-up of our lands through treaty, and the Manitoba Act. I couldn't have envisioned the impacts of the generational trauma and shame that come from being treated as refugees on our own lands, forcibly removed from our ancestral village for things like an Air Force base and the city of Portage-la-Prairie. I wouldn't have seen the loss of our youth and family members at staggering rates as a result of despair, loss of hope on the future of our community and our Dakota-specific culture. What the apology does is create a moment in history where Canada finally formally acknowledges that they purposely ignored our people, our ancestral nation, and our rights. This sets a new path forward where we as the Dakota people can assert our rights and have the confidence knowing that the government acknowledges these past wrongs and the impacts that these wrongs have had on our people. This apology sends a clear message to the provinces where we reside that the Dakota need to be involved in all aspects of future growth in the central Canadian region and open a door to many exciting possibilities for the economic sustainability and growth of our nations. It also sends a clear message to the municipal governments and industry that the Dakota need to be included in all aspects of economic development and regional service delivery with structured impact and benefit agreements. What this apology does for me personally is to bring hope back to our youth, to build a future for them and their families that is much better than the hardships of our ancestors. This new relationship with Canada can be one that is equitable and is based on our authentic ancestral rights and territory. My expectations from this day is that the Government of Canada will work with us to address the impacts of the past and move forward quickly together on establishing a new formal relationship that is equal to the current nation-to-nation relationships in our ancestral territory, and one that we can be proud of, one that is based on authentic rights. That initial vision I had in 1978 as a young chief, and all of the exciting possibilities that can come out of this true nation-to-nation relationship with Canada are here again right now. And I look forward to the hard work ahead. Oh, wopera. My dog ass. What I have here is a t-shirt and a sweater I wanted to give to the minister. It has the territory of the Chetishikoan that we have identified at Dakota Teepee, which goes to the Gulf of Mexico all the way to northern Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and the Carolinas, Minnesota, and so forth. So I'd like to give that to you. Thank you.
All right, Minister Gary, they hooked you up, bruh. Watch out for Indian medicine on there now. Yeah. Thank you very much, Chief Pache. Good job. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call up from Sioux Valley, Tahashi, Chief Vince Tanchin. Chief, come on up if you would. Decha'u.
I have some community members who couldn't make it up, but they've been texting me and they asked me to bring our community members who are here to come up front if they could. I also brought some warriors just in case I needed them. And I brought some really good cooks in case we had to stop and eat somewhere. So following Chief Brown's speech, I really like that. So I'll just say a few words. Machisi tam kawichak na was denataku ohoda kapi. Wite kaba ohoda kaba denataku takatiki uktikapi. I bet today we see what they're talking about, and I bet today yoke people. So what I just said is that since I was little, I'd hear my grandfathers talk about this. And it's really historic. They would have been happy to hear the apology. So I had my friend Bruce, I gave him my thoughts on what I should say. I only spoke for a minute and he wrote a half-hour monologue here for me to read out. So I'll try and finish in time. Mr. Minister, fellow chiefs, councillors, dignitaries, elders, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to those who organized this historic event and to our host, Whitecap Dakota Nation, for the opportunity to use these great facilities. On behalf of Sioux Valley Dakota Nation, I accept Canada's acknowledgement of the historic wrongs and harms which have been perpetrated on our people, particularly by the labeling of our Dakota people as refugees or American Indians. And I acknowledge your expression of regret and your apology on behalf of the Government of Canada as it has represented and been successor to the British Crown in these territories. Our Dakota people never considered themselves as refugees or American Indians in our ancestral territories, which have been occupied since time immemorial, and for our stamina for many generations has thankfully prevailed such that today we can celebrate that our culture is strong, our people are strong, and that we are finally acknowledged by Canada as not only Indigenous to these lands, but to which we have ancestral inherent rights, but that we are fully recognized as peoples of Canada. The Dakota nations each have their own history. In the case of Sioux Valley Dakota Nation, our people were in what is now Canada long before Canadian Confederation and the creation of the Western provinces. In 2012, our Dakota Nation was honored by Canada as a full participant and ally of the British Crown during the War of 1812, which resulted in the successful defense and protection of the sovereignty of British North America. Before the celebrations in 2012 and during Sioux Valley Dakota Nation's work towards becoming the first self-governing Dakota Nation in Canada with legal recognition by both the Canadian government and the provincial government of Manitoba, Sioux Valley Dakota Nation has received a series of letters from former ministers of Indian Affairs and Northern Development Canada in the 1990s and up to 2007, which stated that our Dakota people were not Indigenous to Canada. We were of American origin and were here as refugees. I want to make it clear that our Sioux Valley Dakota Nation has never considered itself as refugees, Americans, or non-Indigenous in what was one time much of North America. We have never accepted these labels, and through the strength of identity of our Dakota culture and teachings of our direction of our elders, Sioux Valley Dakota Nation continued to progress and achieve the formal recognition by Canada and Manitoba of being a self-governing Dakota Nation. Some of the harms from labeling the Dakota facilitated not only Canada but other Indigenous groups, including tribal councils and organizations, from overshadowing and receiving disproportionate attention from the federal government, which operated to the disadvantage of Sioux Valley Dakota Nation. Such labeling has had a negative impact upon our people, and coupled with the disparity in our historical treatment relatives to neighboring non-Dakota treaty nations who in many respects also had transboundary relationships. With what is now the United States, our elders had had enough. At Sioux Valley Dakota Nation, our elders worked closely with our leadership and our legal counsel, drafting a statement of claim which we filed in federal court, Saskatoon Registry, on July 24th, 2009. This was 4 years before we achieved our self-governing relationship with Canada and Manitoba. Many of those elders who kept the drive for recognition alive are no longer with us, but we thank them for their perseverance and know that they are with us in spirit and are proud of the achievement we celebrate today. The statement of claim we filed in the federal court set out Sioux Valley Dakota Nation's history upon which it based its claim and its request for reconciliation. Following achieving our self-government agreements in 2017, Sioux Valley Dakota Nation made a series of presentations to Canada and the harms caused by unfair and inaccurate labeling of our Dakota people. It's only taken 15 years, but today we are fulfilling the first part of our claim for reconciliation by receiving this public apology, for which Sioux Valley Dakota Nation is grateful. We accept this apology with grace, and we appreciate that these historical wrongs take time to acknowledge, and we also realize the cause of the harms take even more time to heal from. Our Dakota people, therefore, know all too well that actions speak louder than words. So, Minister Ananda Sandri, we thank you for your public apology made on behalf of the nation of Canada, and we accept this apology on behalf of Sioux Valley Dakota Nation. We look forward to working with your offices to resolve and reconciling the balance of our respective issues, such that our Dakota people may feel restored and again feel whole and recognized as productive citizens of Sioux Valley Dakota Nation, our respective Dakota nations all together within the nation of Canada. Thank you. Wopira.
And again, thank you very much, Chief Vince Tanchin and your constituency here, Zane and Keith Toshkapi. That's it, looking like warriors. Okay, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, again, we're going to go over to Mission Chief Roger Redmond from Tatakanaji. Chief?
Oh, Wopila. Thank you, Tommy. Always a wonderful emceeing job he does out in Indian country. First of all, I want to acknowledge the pipe ceremony this morning and to Kashla for giving us this beautiful day to be proud Dakota-Lakota people and Lakota people of the Oshete Shikoe. You know, our ancestors waited 261 years when those promises were made to our people. And, you know, through that, you know, I'm glad to be part of this day, this event. I want to thank the elders for the pipe ceremony, the elders for the prayer, our drum group, of course, dignitaries that are here to help commemorate this day. We stand today united, symbolized by the sacred pipes, the chinupas and eagle staffs from our communities, reminding of us of our deep connection to Wankatanka and to each other. This morning's pipe ceremony has fortified our spirits for this significant occasion. Our sovereignty over our traditional lands remain unbroken. A living truth carried through our enduring relationship with these lands and with one another. Our allyship with the Crown is built on respect, trust, and unimpeachable nation-to-nation diplomacy. The sovereignty of Standing Buffalo Dakota Nation has never been compromised. Today, we receive an apology from the Government of Canada for the many wrongs inflicted upon our people. This moment is not just about looking back, but about charting a forward course that acknowledges our rightful place as sovereign nations. We hear the words of regret and acknowledgement of the harm that has been done. This moment is not just about looking back, It's about charting a course forward, one that acknowledges our rightful place as sovereign nations. Our sovereignty is not a gift from any government, but a sacred birthright. Section 35 is not the origin of our inherent rights. We stand here today as strong, proud nations whose sovereignty and identity have endured countless challenges. I honor the past elders of Standing Buffalo, like the late Cliff Tawiaka, late Dennis Thorne, the late Chief Melvin Eastana. I also acknowledge the enduring guidance of the elders among us today. Let this apology be the foundation for rebuilding our nation-to-nation relationship, grounded in respect, cooperation, and trust. Let it mark the start of a genuine reconciliation, honoring our rights, our lands, and people. We will hold ourselves and our partners to the high standards, preserving our way of life for future generations. Guided by our ancestors' spirits, we uphold the sacred trust they bestowed upon us. Thank you, Minister Atkinson. I agree for your words. We accept this apology with the hope it leads to meaningful action and true reconciliation. Ewankatanka, the great mystery, bless us all and guide us on this path of healing and renewed partnership. You know, I want to also acknowledge our negotiators with Canada and Department of Justice who are here. I want to thank them for coming to take part in witnessing this sacred day. We're meeting with them tomorrow. You know, as you see down below us here, this declaration we signed, recognizing and affirming our sovereignty over a year ago. We had Orville Looking Horse, Mr. Harold Soloway, representing the Osheti-Shikowi, the 7 council fires, signed with us, along with our council and 4 male and female elders who lived that way of life through the ceremonies, those laws, and those values that we uphold as all Dakota-Lakota nations. We still, through hundreds of years, exercise that right. You know, it's time we take ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and take our rightful place within our traditional lands. Today, Government of Canada is correcting the historical wrongs that our people were treated, how they turned their backs on our people. You know, what we stood strong, you know, through the battle of 1763, the War of 1812, even the evidence that we were there, Custer's battle, as that flag represents that we have here, the 7th Cavalry that was captured in that battle. The history shows that the Dakota people, warriors in that battle, were fighting in formation. They had military training and they had weaponry that was superior to the U.S. Army. That was supplied by our British allies. These are the histories that need to be told. You know, not only once we defeated Canada, the U.S., we defeated them a number of times in battle. You know, our people are strong. And today is a good day because today we stand up and assert our sovereignty going forward. We still do the hamblechas, we still do our ceremonies. We still have that kinship. You know, and it's today's like this that we be proud of Dakota people and to go forward and take our rightful place. Instead of being looked down upon as third and fourth class citizens in our own country, in our own traditional territory, we need to reclaim that. We need to stand up, encourage our youth to face whatever is in front of them and deal with it in a good way, and in a respectful way, face their fears. All of us need to do that. You know, we all need to, the consulate challenges us a lot of times. They put barriers in front of us. And it's through the elders' guidance and the ceremonies and prayers, that's what's going to persevere us through these times that we have as we struggle through that staff of life, very short. So I just want to say that much. Good day to be Dakota people today, Lakota and Dakota people. Thank you again for all the participation, the words, encouragement, you know, and support. We need to stand together, strong. Yeah, we should be the richest people in this country. We never give nothing up. The U.S. are investing $7 trillion into Canada. They're attaching the condition of duty to consult. As nations that never gave anything up, we need to determine what that threshold is on consultation. Because this territory, this land, that $7 trillion that's coming into Canada, a lot of that belongs to our people. We need to stand up and fight for that. Omataka's.
Oh man, food for thought right there, I'll tell you. Economic development would be key as it relates to this understanding. Thank you very much, Chief. Okay, we're going to call Chief John Wadidika from Dakota-Lakota. Oyate. Chief Hardlot, they would like for you to come up as well. They said, hurry up, let's get up here and gang up on this MC. Oh, takes 3 of them, look.
Before I make my comments, I want to tell you a little story about Ishida Tommy. When he was 4 years old, he challenged Chuck Norris to a golf tournament. When he was 4 years old, he teed off a ball and he hit it, drove it, a hito. It just landed yesterday. Abitakiapi. Akawachiak e yomakpi. Chat our stain a bit choose up the door, Daya Yahipicta. Wakpet imata. Wakiak achmia hebie. Heo Unka Itacha. Flying Thunder Ichiapi ha. 1812, King George Medal, Hopixta. You only have energy. Wakpeto oyate bitakia hio energy po. Hio detkia. In front here. Abitakia pe ha. Oyate wakpetu itaha. Waditaka tioshpai. Tatanka tioshpai. We chung bitopa tioshpai. Machpia omani tioshpai. We a kanaji tioshpai. Chuia maza tioshpai. Kanri tioshpai. These are the family groups from our community. Wakantaka a bit de maagak de wopida. The one we trust the wopida. We don't have to. Hokapi we need to Chanumpo Bare a Khanak Pidame. Abitakipi Daya Yahipikta Owasana. Want to thank Creator for the day today. want to thank the elders that lifted the pipe this morning. I want to thank the drum group this morning, made up of drum singers from different communities. Before I go on, I want to thank Ishida Harold Blacksmith for his words regarding Takatiwi Choichage and what this means today. I want to thank Michinchi for his words for natural law. I acknowledge the chiefs. I acknowledge the minister, all of the people here. Our people protected Canada in 1812. All our people, Dakota. Biggest land grab. You know, when they say there's historical wrongs, we know what the historical wrongs are. But the media, they never report that. So I'm going to explain one. We were left out at the time of treaty, but through Her Majesty's bounty and benevolence, we were erroneously put into the Indian Act, a place which we didn't belong. At the time of treaty, when an immigrant came to Canada, is no different than Ikshtewichasha or Hokshiapa, born this morning, an Indian child, born this morning, today. They both came with nothing. But when the immigrant farmed the land, worked the land, received the bounty of the land, and he was ready to go to the next camp, all his assets, holdings, he was able to move that for intergenerational wealth to the next people, his offspring, his family. When our people did that, they went to the government. So when the next generation came, hey, there was nothing for them. And that continued till today. When we see this apology, if this apology is to be meaningful, I wanted to hear the words, but I didn't hear it this morning. Compensation. If this apology is to be meaningful and not words, when I go back home tomorrow, I don't want to be managing poverty. I want to say that. We are strong people. We are hard workers. And we deserve every right to be part of the economy of Canada because we defended this country. I have my former chiefs here. We work together in our community. We have our former leaders in the front row. We have Sai standing. He's a veteran, earned his wings in RCAF. He's a radio operator for Norcan Air. He's the chief of our community. He's now currently a PAGC senator. We have Dr. Leo Manny, former chief. earned his PhD in interdisciplinary studies from the University of Saskatchewan. Came back home, worked hard for our community, did a lot of research for our community. I want to say thank you. Wopita Tanka. We have former Chief Gary Standing, 35 plus years service to Wahpetuan in all aspects, from the farm manager all the way from picking roots in the field to the chief, band counselor, chief again. Now he works beside me as the executive director for Wahpetuan. Gary Standing. Last but not least, Chie Lauren Waditika, my older brother. I'm the good-looking one. He was the chief in 2 terms. I want to say thank you for all the work that he done. And I want our counselors to raise their hand. Our current counselor, Scotty Bird. Lois Standing. Maureen Walker. Stephanie Bird, if she's there. And these are the former leadership, the work, the unsung heroes, the former counselors. They work behind the scenes. Curtis Standing, former counselor. Beverly Waditika, former counselor. And Dale Standing is here, former counselor. Clayton Waditika, former counselor. And Yvonne Waditika and Velma Buffalo, former band counselors. Before I leave, I also want to thank our Grand Chief, Brian Hardlot, for coming to witness today the apology. But I want to hear, and I want you to hear from one of our young members. I want to ask Brock McLeod to come and speak, as well as our oldest member, Wichakcha, our Sai Standing, to come and speak, because he moved that file back in the 60s and 70s. I want them both to come and speak here to address the day.
Namatakiapi, Petawashte, Maxpia and Homini, Manakshina Makiapi, the Shokska Chief Chashta. First of all, I like to thank our elders for lifting that chanumpa to Wochike for this beautiful day that Tokashila gifted us, for this room full of Dakota-Lakota people. It's beautiful. And I like to say thank you to my Tancha, Uncle John Wadidaka, for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of each and every one of you guys. I'm still learning. I know nothing. But the one thing I love is my culture, my language. My community, we ain't rich. Our houses, our school, that's a common negative that we all go through. but we're all rich as when we have our tiwahe by our side. And to have the past titanchas behind me means a lot. This is where we all stand together. Anaji po. Anaji. When we stand together, we're stronger. We pray together, we're stronger. Don't forget where you come from. And learn your language. Like I said, I'm still learning. 1-2 words a day is a lot. Just kidding. But I don't want to take too much time. I'm just thankful to be here. And I just say thank you to my Tioshpa Tiwahe, Oxpeto and Oyate. And I wish you all a beautiful day, many blessings, and safe travels back to your home fires. Hope it up, Pirame, Tacos.
Tommy Takiapi. Tommy Ja Taku Jordan Epecta. Wakaya Naji Makiapi on. My colonized name is Sai Standing. I want to, first of all, I guess I want to, our chief here is wearing the 1812 medal, Queen Victoria medal. That was presented to our leadership at that time, and there's, I think that's the only one that's left now. And then, of course, Roger has the 1763 treaty, and that is good to see that those medals are still around. I remember in my younger days, we met with the older people, Jim Kiowakan, Eli Taylor, and they said they had those medals too. Because of poverty and these museums collecting all these medals, he says that, we want Kotkoka. He said, I sold it so he can feed his family, And that's how we survived. Our Tokashinas, Kunshis, they suffered. So we can survive and we can carry on. And that's what we're going to do. We heard the word a lot, Ocheti Shakoi. That is our nation. Ocheti Shakoi, as another chief mentioned, goes from Louisiana all the way to the northwest Yukon territories. That's where our people, original territory was. And in Saskatchewan, it was original Ocheti Shakoi territory. And then, but in 1781, a major epidemic, smallpox, and it wiped out 80 to 90% of our people in this area. And that left it open, and then there's a few of us left, but I think we're gaining momentum. And the last thing I want to say that, and Chief Pashe is here, we worked together as 9 Dakota Oyate, and we were making progress. And then along the way, the chiefs passed on. And my message to you is that, Yuita and Najipo, stand together, forget the colonizer's way and carry on our spiritual way. Hanaku Dakota Yapo, learn your language. and carry on your spiritual way. That's the only way we're going to go forward, and I think we're well on our way there, so I will keep it up. Aomitakiapi is henanapekted.
All right, and again, thank you very much, Chief. Good job, John Wadidika. Oh, good job, man. Acknowledging his people here. Okay, we got the next chief from Wood Mountain Reserve, none other than Tahashi, my relative right here, Chief Ellen LeCain. Chief, come on up, ma'am, if you would. Chief Ellen LeCain. Is she still here? Yeah, tell her to hurry up. Get over here. Jeez. She must be related to me. Always late, yeah. Good. And then right after this, Chief Bear, stand by. And then right after that, we'll go to Chief Brown. He has a little something to share. You know, as First Nations people, you know, a lot of our capitalistic relatives that are non-Indian, they don't understand that concept. And what I'm talking about is we don't have much, but what little we have, we share because we're taught that. And you'll hear that over and over again, and they come to understand. Oh, there's the chief. Chief, come on up. Let you. I just know where she was at, outside smoking. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, I believe she would like her relatives from Wood Mountain, if they're available, come and sit in the chairs in front. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Chief of Wood Mountain Reserve, none other than Ellen LeCain.
Good afternoon to everybody. I'd like to acknowledge Vivian for her prayer and a pipe ceremony this morning. And also, everybody's been acknowledged here by other chiefs, but I would like to acknowledge our tribal chief, and he's sitting, put up your hand please, Jeremy Fourhorns, and his sister Charmin, who works for the tribal council. They're very nice people. The tribal council chiefs all welcome our Dakota people. I want to stress that we are the only Lakota band in Canada. I'm out of breath. And we've suffered through hardships, a lot of hardships that I think that need to be addressed. For one thing, we have to acknowledge our great leader, Sitting Bull, and all the other chiefs that were before him and with him. If it wasn't for him, we would not be here today as Dakota people. And I'd like to acknowledge the minister. I thank you for coming here to meet with us and listen to us, listen to our grievances. I want to also thank Darcy and your band for hosting this meeting. And I want to say that we accept your apology, Canada's apology. But I am concerned about the time it's going to take for us to reach truth and reconciliation. It's been a long, hard ride for us, right from the beginning of our leadership, right from the beginning of Sitting Bull. Our land, our sovereignty is very important to us. Sovereignty always led our people to where we are today. And I'm proud of that for our Sioux people, and I look forward to dealing with Canada and working with Canada to make us a better Sioux Nation. And I would like to introduce my council, Eric LeCain and Travis Ogle, I also have from the ministry, Alyssa Schatz, she works with Minister Gary, and the rest of them are all related to me. We have our band administrator, and Diane. Diane is from the Standing Buffalo First Nation. I also want to stress too that, you know, Diane's from the Standing Buffalo First Nation, and she's also my first cousin. So when we're talking Dakota-Lakota, we're together and united in blood. Okay? And I am just happy to be here. I'm happy to be up here to represent my Lakota people and my Dakota people. Thank you.
And again, all these people up here I'm related to, I'm going to be right out there, $10 a piece. I need to get home. Nah. Okay, thank you very much. Lakota Oyateki. Okay, now at this time, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way off, he paid me to say this. He said, tell them, Tommy, we saved the best for last. As if best at what? Sleeping? No, in jest, again, I belong to a certain society we got to represent all the time, so that's why I act like that. But anyway, it's very important to us to understand, to take this commitment in hand and run with it the way he has and treat everybody with such respect. It's really been a job. I know he has a lot of people behind him, his constituency and whatnot, that support his efforts. So, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, I'd like to introduce to you Chief Darcy Bear. Sir, if you would, come on up this way.
Want me to talk up here again? Okay. We're going to be, I got my counselors and former counselors, Vice Chief Ali, and then I was going to ask our members to come and stand in the front as well. So come on up. Dakota, Oyate, come on. Wherever you're hiding, and come sit. There's some chairs up here for a few. Victor, you're not going to be sitting on a chair, okay? For our elders, they can sit on the chairs, please. Yeah. You too there, Tashi. I see you dropped your pills earlier. So it's been, as everyone said earlier, it's been a historic day for the Dakota-Lakota here in Canada. It's been a long time coming, this apology, something that we worked hard on for generations and generations and generations. A lot of our ancestors have worked on this. You've heard from all of our fellow Dakota-Lakota leaders and our elders, pipe carriers, and all the sacrifices that our ancestors made. We heard Minister Ananda Sangri talk about how the Dakota-Lakota had helped defend, build, and develop Canada. And again, Minister Ananda Sangri, you know, we do accept your apology, but there's also got to be actions with that apology. There has to be actions with that apology. We are not here today to accept hollow and empty apology. We want something that there is actually going to be action behind it. And that's very important to all of us in this room. Something our ancestors have worked hard for and want that recognition they deserve. And I know this term refugee, I know we certainly have never utilized it. We never acknowledge it. I think that's what made us stronger, saying, no, we are not refugees. This is our rightful place. These are our territories. Whether you like it or not, we are here. These are our lands, and always have been our lands since time immemorial. And you're not going to get rid of us. We're always going to be here. That's who we are. We're Dakota people and Lakota. So I want to know that one of the things we've said here in our nation is that even the right to an economy, yes, our language, our culture, all that's very important, and we have to revitalize that, but we also need resources to make that happen, because the federal government, they announced the Indigenous Languages Act, but no resources came with it. But so we have to continue to create our own source revenues to fund unfunded programs. And yet our language and culture is taken away by the government. Now, why create legislation that doesn't have any money with it? That has to change, you know. The colonizers are the ones who took our language and our culture away. So we have to make sure that we hold them accountable on that. But just on economic reconciliation, it's something that our nation has been practicing and working on. We totally believe in having an economy. You look at nation building, you look at globally around the world. Every nation has an economy, and we need to have an economy. Every one of us, every nation across Canada, every First Nation, not just the Dakota-Lakota, but all of us, all 634 nations need an economy, a right to an economy. And Minister, when we speak with you today, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. We only have a few minutes with you, but it's something that we've said to you in the past. We want to look at this whole economic reconciliation, but continue to move it forward. And I want to thank, of course, the support of our members standing here, all of our elders, our people. Over the years you have been here. Allison talked about how she's seen leadership her whole life. When she was 6 months old, I was first elected. That was 33 years ago, and Allison's now 33 years old. And I want to thank my people for the support over the years, and my council members over the years as well. And we talk about our youth taking, you know, we have to invest in our youth, but also our elders have to be there to show us as far as the way forward, and not to forget where we come from. I was raised in Wapaska, Dakota-Lakota by my grandparents, Nicholas and Mabel Bear. And my grandfather always reminded me, never forget where we come from as far as our language, our culture, and our cultural practices. And that we have to walk in two worlds. We still have to get educated in a non-Indigenous way as well, and then move forward. So we practice that. And again, today, I know we've got another announcement coming next week again. So my nation members, we have another project that we'll be starting. Well, I better not give it away because I'm going to let Minister Hyde do that next week on the 24th. But we do have another announcement, another economic development project, another 210 jobs coming to our nation. We have 800 jobs now, but this is something that we've been working on. It's making sure that we have economic reconciliation, we have opportunities, our members wake up with purpose, and that's what we want to see. And we want to continue down that pathway. So the promises you made today, we see as a bright future for all of us. And so I want to again thank you, Minister, for being here today. And of course, we're all going to hold you to task on making sure this is not an empty promise and that we go forward. I just also want to quickly maybe both my two councillors that are currently elected come up and just be recognized and say a couple of words. I'll turn to my Tahashi here, Councillor Frank Royal, and then my other Tahashi, Councillor Dwayne Eagle.
Iske wa chia copy do. Ate wa stay na pet use be. Dakota chaze wa eki Akisha Shimani maki apido. Ushichu chaze wa eki Frank Rolla maki apido. Hello, my friends and relatives. Good to see you all. Shake all your hands with a good heart. My name is Frank Roll from Whitecap Dakota Nation here, and I welcome all of you and welcome the chiefs and all the nation members and to our guests and to the minister for the apology today. So it's a good day. Thank you. Budamia.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Whitecap. So 2012, we started down this journey of self-government. And I want to thank our membership for giving us the mandate to do that. And along the way, it took about 13 years to do this, but along the way, it developed into a self-government treaty, I should say, a journey. And apparently, it took 13 years, but it was a quick 13 years when it comes to negotiating self-government. And the reason being is they couldn't deny us. This is our country, this is our land, this is our territory. So they couldn't deny the fact that we belonged here in Canada. So Minister, thank you so much today for the apology. You know, it also affects some of the people in our community that are not Dakota, but they are Whitecap Dakota members. Like my mom, she comes from a Treaty First Nation. She lost her treaty rights when she married into her community. but there's several women that lost their treaty. So now they get their treaty back. So Nancy's one of them, Roberta, and we lost a few of our aunties, Marjorie and Kathy, that transferred into our community. So this is a very important day in our community for everybody. So I want to thank you so much. Thank you.
So July 15th is going to be a memorable day for all of us. I asked my brother Skis, give a wave. How are you going to celebrate today? And he said he's going to go and pick up a bucket of KFC and just eat the skin. He's not kidding. So I just want to once again thank all of you for being here. Thank everyone behind the scenes that helped make this day a reality. All of our staff and volunteers. Murray was on holidays. I tried not to bug the guy at all, and of course I know Maddie had to do a lot of work and had to bug her over the weekend, but got things organized. And again, Minister, working with your staff as well. I want to thank them too for the work they've done, and look forward to our discussions today. We're going to have lunch just down the hallway here in a tent. So that's where we'll be having lunch, but it's all catered, and look forward to seeing you all there. So with that, I want to wish everyone safe travels home to your nations, and we look forward to seeing you all again. Homitakiwas. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much there, Tahashi. Good job. And as they make their way off there, we have a special presentation by Chief Brown from Chinupawakpa. You want to share a few words, Chief? Okay. On behalf of his people, his constituency, Minister Gary, if you just kind of stay close, if you would.
Aho, Mitakiapi. Can I have all the Chinupawakpa Oyate members, can you come forward up front? Okay, hey. I'd like to explain one of the protocols of our Dakota people. One of the protocols that we have when we say Dakota Wishoha is that when somebody comes to visit us, we give what we have. Today, I want to ask my community members of Chinupawakpa do a little giveaway to the minister, and that's our way of honoring the minister that he come to visit us Dakota people today. Where's Valid?
So again, Minister Gary, they got a little something for you from Chinupawakpa on behalf of all of the people there. And they're going to share that with you. And then stand by drum group. We're going to go in that victory song as soon as we do this.
We're going to ask one of my oldest cousins, Darlene, to represent a jacket that says Chinupawakpa, the coordination to the minister. And we have a blanket and a necklace. This is what one of our culture, tradition, Dakota Chunk, is to give what we have to our visitors that come. And I'd like to thank all the other visitors that are here with us today to celebrate this historic day in Dakota history. To Chief, to the minister, we thank you for my nation, Dakota. Chinupawakpa, Dakota Wayate, but I know in the next few weeks that you and I will be sitting down with Chinupawakpa issues. I'd like to thank you to say thank you to my people. Mitakias.
All right, thank you very much. And again, Minister Gary, please stand by. I know we have a time constraint, but we got a couple of other tribes that I'd like to share with you. We have Standing Buffalo over here, and then right behind them, Vince, if you got something. maybe get that over here and we'll share it with you. But Minister Gary, you come here in a good way, and in the Dakota protocols, we don't have much, but what little we have, we share. And so this is being shared with you in a good way okay, Standing Buffalo, if you would. I know that you got some things that you'd like to share. Okay. And then those that carried the eagle staffs and the flag, come and man your eagle staff and your flag. Okay, Senator Arnott as well. Minister Gary, go on up there. Chief Redmond, go up there and see the minister. Toshka. And is Senator Arnott here? And those that brought in the flags, please come up here and man your flags. Okay, and then we pose a wachpa. We'll do theirs this afternoon when they have the meeting with him. Okay. And then Senator Arnott, did you make it? Yeah. Eagle staffs, and if you brought in the eagle staff or flag, please make your way up here. During the victory song, we'll retire our flags and our eagle staff. So, flag bearers, just about. And then after that, right on the other side of the casino over there's a tent over there. We're going to ask those to go and go over there and eat. After you get all done with that, and Minister Gary and the chiefs, there's going to be a media room right across the hall here. Go on over there before you go eat, and they're going to share some questions with you. Eagle staff carriers, flag bearers, come on over this way if you would. All right. Chief Redmond, did you get all your stuff taken care of? Judge Arnott. Yeah, just go right out. Just go right out. Yeah. You guys can go down there, yeah.
Come on, gentlemen, come downstairs. We'll start down there. Yeah.
And then six-shooter stand by with that victory song. Just one and out, one push-up of the flag song, and then they'll dance out with the victory song. So, Agichita Oloma Ahia Wainkte. I said I'm going to sing a warrior song. As if I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. Yeah. Okay, come on over, Eagle staff carriers, flag bearers, and okay, there's that Arnott guy, yeah, right there. You know that Judge Arnott, he did a lot of work on a commission that he was with a lot of people to really bring this particular day forward, and he kind of stuck to his guns, and so that's why they're acknowledging him, those that understood the efforts he put forward and really helping this to all occur. So, okay, get your eagle staffs and your flags. Chief Redmond, you got your eagle staff? Okay, there you go. And then, who else? What else do we need? This, okay. Okay. And then right after this, we're going to go to that victory song, and everybody go outside on that side of the building, and they have a food over there. They're going to feed you. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, you know, this afternoon they have a whole bunch of meetings with the minister that last a half hour. The first one's going to be Birdtail Sioux, then Chinoopa Wachpa, Dakota Plains, Dakota Teepee, Sioux Valley, Standing Buffalo, Wachpeto, and Whitecap Dakota. And Wood Mountain, in that order. So they got a list of them out there on the wall. You'll be meeting with the minister this afternoon, and you'll have a half hour each to present some of your concerns with the minister. He's affording you that time, so I know that Vince, Chief Tanchin, is going to give his stuff away during that time as well. So if you got a gift or something, you can do it at that time as well. Okay, do we have everything ready? Murray, ready to go there? Okay, Curtis said we're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Ushimalo mitaki epi najipo, duake oyake bi najipo, wamniwa paha ekta. The Eagle staff is going to leave us. We're going to retire it in a good way. One push-up of flag song and out, gentlemen, with that victory song. Okay, anytime you're ready. Eapo, take it away. One push-up of the flag song. And then we'll go with the victory song. Here we go, victory song. Up, up. Day of victory today. Hook, I had you to hello, me talk happy. Hey, wapaha waganskia. Okay. Oh, thank you very much, six-shooter. Good job, guys.